the God in Vice City, out of rumors and denial. Jason and Lucia riding through the Florida wind, invented every sunset perfect, every cop chase that never ended. $80 in November, the date we circled in gold, but the mountain we constructed is already too damn cold. It doesn't matter how good it is, it doesn't matter if it's perfect, doesn't matter if it's real. GTA 6 will never live up to the hype we fed for 13 years. Just you wait and see. You can steal every car, you can own the whole city, make the world feel more alive than anything we've known. But it still won't be enough, cause we already finished it 1,000 times at home. 1,000 times at home, yeah. We wanted physics so real you could feel the summer heat. NPCs with full lives, a map that never repeats, a living, breathing satire that somehow also heals, the thing that GTA 5 never quite managed to steal. But no game can carry the weight of a decade of what if. No update, no map size, no next-gen graphic shift. A Rockstar could drop a 10, the best they've ever made, and half the internet would still find a reason to complain. It doesn't matter how good it is, oh, it doesn't matter if it's perfect, doesn't matter if it's real. GTA 6 will never live up to the hype we fed for 13 years. Just you wait and see. You can steal every car, you can own the whole city, make the world feel more alive than anything we've known. But it still won't be enough, cause we already finished it 1,000 times at home, yeah. We'll buy it on day one, we'll clock 200 hours, we'll say this is the one, with tears in our eyes. Then 2 weeks later we'll be back in Los Santos, waiting for the next trailer, the next leak, the next lie. The hype was the real game. The game is just the prize. It doesn't matter how good it is, doesn't matter if they nailed it, doesn't matter if it's king. GTA 6 will never live up, that's not a diss, that's just how these things go. You can give us everything we ask for and more, and we'll still find a way to say it should have been. It still won't be enough.
That's right. It'll never be enough.
Cause the hype
What up?
already won.
What up, Jack? What up, Buggy? How you doing? Jesus Christ. I have been sitting here busting my ass non-stop. Not just over my long-form video, but just to make ends meet. So yeah, I was hoping to stream yesterday. That didn't fucking happen because I kind of collapsed from exhaustion. That's just how life is sometimes. Today, we're gonna keep it nice and simple. I'm hoping there's not too much bullshit around GTA 6. We're gonna look at all of it. It's obviously never gonna be as good as this. I'm just telling you that right now. It's never gonna be as good as this. Motherfuckers. It'll never be this. However, that comes with a caveat. They might put in all the bullshitty, trashy millennialisms. It might be safe, edgy. It might be all of that, but it might still be a 10 out of 10 game. And it will not fucking matter. Because nothing they do will live up to the hype of what's been building in people's heads for the last 13 years of waiting. It will never be enough. It will never be good enough. And yes, I 100% agree. San Andreas was peak GTA. Peak. If you believe my Vice City was better, I'm not going to argue with you because that was also exceptional. It will never be this good again. It just never will. So we're going to take a look at some of the GTA stuff today. We're going to take a look at some of the extended gameplay. Apparently some of that's now come out. And then, depending on how much time I have, because I'm kind of on a time schedule here, because I kind of got a little bit fucked over by my goddamn student in judo who told me he wasn't competing this weekend, and then he messaged me like 2 hours ago to be like, oh, by the way, I am competing. I changed my mind. I'm like, you motherfucker. I scheduled my entire weekend around doing things. So I have to at least get at least 4 hours of sleep before I go deal with that. There's a few games that truly live up to their hype. There are very few games that ever live up to hype because hype is poison. Right, hype will get people to buy the video game, and then it'll also get people to fucking hate the video game because it's not what they pictured inside their head. It will never be as good as what you're picturing inside your head. Vice City had better story, but San Andreas was the better game. I can't, you know what, I'm not going to argue with you on that, because if I had to pick between the Vice City story and the San Andreas story, I couldn't pick. I really couldn't pick between the two. That would be impossible for me. Both of them were amazing. But this shit, this right here, that, what's going on back there? Never happening again. It's just never happening again. It's over. It's done. The peak era of video games as art is gone. Now we get catchy little millennial lines. We get safe edgy because we don't want to upset the advertisers. Oh, we don't want to worry about the ESRB rating. Oh, no, of course not. Oh. Only Wukong and Crimson Desert exceeded my hype level in recent years. I don't know about Crimson Desert. People have told me it's a good game. I'd never bothered playing it. Wukong lived up to its hype. I'll give you that. Wukong was fucking amazing. And my biggest problem now with Black Myth Wukong is that every fucking Chinese studio is trying to remake Black Myth Wukong instead of making something else. You'll see this. There's going to be like 1 million Chinese copies because they think it works like fucking cars. They think if they've got one successful car, they just need to crank out that car in an infinite amount of mild variations with different paint jobs on it. I've still got hope for China being the new video game center of the world. I think that they have a better chance than any other place on planet Earth currently. But man, is that a slim fucking chance. It's like 10% maximum chance. So, let's get into it. But before I do, last stream I had a moment. I was having like a really deep philosophical moment. And it was mostly because what was occupying my head and fucking me up a lot, right, was the entire Lindsay Clancy situation. You know, the wacky bitch who killed her 3 kids and then tried to kill herself and failed, right? And it occupied my brain because I have a kid. I have a 3-year-old. And I cannot imagine. I can't even fathom doing the same thing to my kid. Like, it doesn't even, I don't even know how. The best part was, may the spirit of Sparky bless the stream. Yeah, he's either walking around with a really sore asshole or he's arrested. One of the two. So hopefully he's not coming back. Right? But the way I deal with things, the way I deal with all these dark situations is humor. And last stream, I was having like a real moment where I couldn't find the material. I couldn't find exactly what it was. I couldn't find the funny thing to say. So I had to think about it while I was working my ass off over the last 2 days. And I got a few. We can see if these ones work for you or not, right? We'll go through these first. We'll make some Lindsay Clancy jokes first, right? Let's start there, and then we'll move into the GTA stuff. So firstly, right, I heard that the defense for Lindsay Clancy, is arguing that it's postpartum psychosis. Where's my camera? There it is. And I heard that the prosecution is arguing that she's the only mother on planet Earth to finally find an exercise band that works. But honestly, I think we should have some sympathy for Lindsay Clancy. Because, like, postpartum depression is, like, a terrible thing to deal with. Just apparently not as terrible as her 3 kids. Ah, man, I've been holding those 2 in for a few days now, right? What's really wacky, right, is I've gone, like, real deep. I've gone real deep into looking into this thing because I'm like, how the fuck does someone do this? How the hell does someone end up being like this? I showed a picture of this woman to my wife, and unprompted, just looking at her picture, she's like, yeah, that's a psychopath. I've seen women like that. I know that face. That's a fucking psycho. She needed to look at that bitch's face for 1 second, and she's like, that's a psycho. That's a crazy person. That's an insane person. Not her fault that her kids couldn't happen. Couldn't happen the exercise with the bands. Yeah, they just couldn't handle it, right? Dan Clancy's trans surgery gone wrong. Oh, yeah. Ooh, she looks a lot like Dan Clancy. That's what's really scary about it. Lindsay Clancy is stupid. No, she's an insane person. I would kill myself before I killed my children. Clearly a woman moment. You know, you say that, right? You say that it's a woman moment. But she apparently, what she's been saying, VOD only for me, it's lagging. I'm not sure why it's lagging. Everything looks okay on my end. It looks like it's okay. I'm not sure why. Right, but you say it's a woman moment, right? But I'm not so sure it's a woman moment because apparently she told everyone that you know, the voices in her head were telling her to do it. So you can't really call it a woman moment because I think it's the first time in human history that a woman has managed to listen to instructions and execute on the task. She just couldn't stick the landing at the end. You know, she choked out her kids. She jumped out the window like she was fucking Batman. She hit the ground and turned into Optimus Prime. Because apparently she's in a wheelchair now. And the only thing I think that is she got off easy. It was real wacky actually listening to my wife talk about these things because she was like, maybe there was a reason they burned witches in the past. She was mentally ill and on a lot of meds, but that doesn't excuse her planning the deaths of her kids. It really doesn't, right? It very much fucking doesn't excuse that. Because if you think about it, the husband had to hire a nanny. He took 12 weeks off for work. He was there for her. On the day of the murder, she made sure the nanny wasn't there. She sent her husband out of the fucking house. And then she did it. That's premeditation. She planned that shit. She fucking planned it. That's fucking nuts. Oh, man. It's typical woman, though. They always manage to do things better for others than they do for themselves. Because she just couldn't finish the job when it came to herself, huh? I think the thing, though... I think the thing that really is really confusing to me is that a lot of people look at her and they think to themselves, like you've seen it. You've probably seen the posts on Twitter. You've seen the posts on TikTok where, like, there's a bunch of crazy bitches out there who they're holding her up as a feminist icon. And I think that's just pure bullshit. When it's fairly obvious that she's an icon for racial equality. Because I bet that every dude who goes out with a white woman from now on is gonna be fucking second guessing themselves to the nines. They're gonna be like, maybe I should have gone black, maybe I should have gone Mexican, maybe I should have gone for Asian, something else. I mean, sure, the kids are gonna get the fuck beaten out of them the whole time through their entire childhood, but at least they'll be alive enough to tell you about it when they're turning off the oxygen tank in the old age home that you're stuck in after the way you treated them. Test. I can see your messages, Great Sky Wizard. I don't know if you can't. I'm not sure why, but I'm pretty sure I can see them. At one point while playing Final Fantasy, you were so preoccupied with the child murderer woman, the server threatened to kick you out for an activity. It did. You don't understand. Like, as a parent, like, thinking about that shit, like, drove me nuts, right? It really, fuck. It was driving me up a goddamn wall. They might get beat, but Asians get good grades. Or at least they get beat. Yeah, they might get both, and they'll be able to play the piano at the end of it. Kick is lagging hard. I had to swap to mobile and dial down to 480p just to get a fluent stream. Okay, yeah, that's going to be a Kick problem. You see, what's happening on Kick right now is there's a lot of people who are flooding their servers with a bunch of bot farms and stuff, and it's really actually fucking up their server thing, and they're doing nothing about it, so it's making it real bad. I mean, that was one way to deal with the matter of child custody. You know, I bet the husband, all he wished for before that moment, having 3 kids and a wife like that, was just one day of peace. He was sitting like, I just want one day of a quiet house. And then somewhere on planet Earth, a monkey paw curled. And he got his day of quiet. He fucking did. Just not in the way he wanted it. Jesus. Man. What a fucking psycho. Honestly, what a crazy person. But at least we know that there was a level of remorse involved in what she did. Because to this day, she can't stand it. I hope, you know what needs to happen is really, like, everyone needs to go out and mock and deride this person as much as possible. Make as many jokes about her and anyone who defends her. Because no one who takes her side should be ever taken seriously ever on planet Earth. She's single-handedly done more damage to the opinions of women in first world countries than years of hearing the dumbest fucking opinions just trying to get your dick sucked at a date. Women are giving gay men far more rationale in why they play their homies' joysticks. Oh yeah, they are. Whoo! God, can you imagine? Gay dudes are like, this is why I like man ass. They're gonna be sitting there like, I'm a winner. We went from the bottom to the top real fucking quick. And they still like the bottom as well. Holy fuck, that first message of mine only arrives now. Kick has like 4-minute delay. Let me double check that. Let me check why. I'm not sure why it's doing that. It shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, that's a Kick server problem. For some fucking reason. I'm not sure what the fuck's going on there. But anyway, that's enough fucking about. I think, genuinely, I'm not even sure what you've said there, Filter. Yeah, I have no idea what the hell you're saying. But honestly, genuinely, I think that the best thing that can happen now is that everyone mocks and derides this person as much as possible, laughs in the face of every single person who defends them, never take them seriously, never take their opinions to heart, because they don't deserve it. They don't deserve to be treated like people. If they are okay with a crazy bitch who fucking killed 3 of her kids. And man, being a parent, that's fucking way worse. Still don't know what you're saying, Filter. I don't speak that one. I don't understand. That is not a recognized African language in my country. Imagine if it was one of those TikTok relationship tests. Honey, I killed the kids, and she's fucking recording you to see how you respond, and then you basically strangle her to death while a phone records you on TikTok live, and then there's just a bunch of women posting, oh my god, he's so toxic. Can you imagine that? You know, I would think that that's a ridiculous scenario, but at this current point in time, that's just like a premonition of the future. Well, at least now I can feel justified in why I make no effort in dating. No, you know what? That's a great shit test, right? Women like to shit test dudes all the time, right? You know, they have these like weird fucking tests or things that they do to see if you're gonna like agree with them or what your real opinions are and stuff like that. This is the perfect shit test if you're a guy, right? You go on a first date and you're like, so what do you think of the Lindsay Clancy situation? And you pay very close attention. Very, very close attention to what they say. And that'll tell you what your future is. It's either you getting up and leaving and living a happy life all alone, maybe being gay if you're lucky enough, or you can have some dead kids. At least now I can feel justified in why I made... Yeah, no. At least she created a DPS check to filter out those crazy... She kind of did. She may have done the world a favor. Because anyone siding with that crazy shit should not be breeding. I used to think that, like, it's part of, like, a normal human cycle. Like, people should have kids, they should have a family, they should have a wife. No, not anymore. If the choice is between that and being alone forever, pick alone forever. Honey, would you still love me if I was a worm and killed 3 of our children? Jesus. Yeah, that's a real fucking test. I thought you spoke the Elvish tongue of Tolkien. I don't. I read the books a long time ago. I know the lore. I know the backstory. I don't know all the actual shit about it. I don't speak the Elvish tongues. I don't speak any other tongue except English, and I barely fucking speak that. Afrikaans is kind of... My second language, Afrikaans, is like something I barely fucking understand. And I've been learning that language my entire life. I'm terrible with languages. I like boobs too much to be gay, but too impatient to deal with women's shit, the curse of being straight. My solution to you, Nero, would be prostitution. However, no, what am I saying? Prostitution's probably cheaper than having to take a woman on a date 4 or 5 times, pay for all the meals, pay for the fuel to get there and back. There's some other bullshit she's gonna make you pay for. You know, a hooker's probably cheaper. And I bet the hooker's not gonna kill your kids. Because you best be wearing a condom or she'll kill you with whatever she's got. South Africa, it's far worse, actually. I can think of a few situations on the news lately. Oh, yeah, I know. But you can't compare it, right? Spider, this is a tragedy because it happened in a first world country, right? We have 500 people pack into a taxi on the highway, slam into another car, like 500 people die, and it doesn't even make the news in our country. No one gives a fuck about the third world. We don't even give a fuck because we're like they'll tell you like the rugby scores. They'll tell you how sad they are that we lost to New Zealand. And then as an afterthought, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, another 500 people died in a car crash on the highway, by the way. Anyway, news tomorrow. Like that's all they care about. This economy, yeah, hooker is cheaper. Like, man. We live in a day and age where prostitutes are fucking more honest than the women who aren't. Jesus. We need the asteroid. We need the fucking asteroid. Now, enough of that fucking about. Let's take a look at GTA 6. There's a lot of shit that's going on. I see it's been popping the fuck off. And I think the only right place to start is probably with the gameplay that's been going on recently. Apparently there's some gameplay. Apparently we get to see some shit. I haven't looked at this. I've looked at no GTA 6 stuff, mostly because, not because I've been trying to avoid it, just because I've been working my ass off non-stop trying to make ends meet. So, fuck it. I have looked at nothing. Let's find out if this game is actually going to be something solid and something that's going to be a burning disaster. Now, I think, personally, it doesn't matter how good the game is. I think people are still going to buy it. I think the hype has been building up for too long. It doesn't matter how good the game is. It's just never... Hold on. Okay. YouTube's telling me something real quick. Let me just check it. Huh. You know what, Green Sky Wizard? It might not be a you issue. This might be a me problem. That's weird. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try and fix this. This might be a me problem. The game does look good. Well, I'm going to find out. Are the rugby and cricket players still safe in South Africa? I've seen Kevin Peterson running around interviewing folks in South Africa. Well, no one's really safe in South Africa, Kane. We recently had like a world-class champion boxer in our country get fucking murdered. He got shot straight outside of his house. There is no one who is safe, basically, in South Africa. We're all at risk of dying at some given point in time. Now, I'm gonna just fix something real quick. The stream's gonna stop and then it's gonna come back. I'm gonna see if I can fix something. Is it still working? That seems to have resolved some of the issues. They might be back. I have been battling with internet issues in a second. They're like for like this week. It's been rough. Internet's been rough for this week. So hopefully it's back. Hey, what's up, Soulman? How you doing? Okay, there we go. Hopefully it stays stable. You have no... Chat delay is real bad. Yeah, it is. Chat delay is fucking rough. How's it going? It's going good, because at least I've managed to stream today. I have... do you understand the fucking struggle I've been through? I'm working on that big video again. I've managed to recover my footage. I'm making a video on Dune Awakening. Dune Awakening requires an internet connection. Do you know how many fucking times I've had to deal with disconnections over the last 3 days trying to get the footage I need? What streaming overlay are you using? I'm just using OBS. So this will either be an internet server problem or it'll be a streaming like relay problem to Kick and Twitch. But to be honest, it's probably on my side, especially if it's this rough. But yeah, I've been working my ass off trying to get as much footage as I can for Dune Awakening, and fuck me, my internet has been driving me up a goddamn wall for that entire time. Non-stream days probably once every 2 hours, yes. Look, I don't keep to my schedule. Look, I've got this fucking screen here. I never keep to this goddamn schedule. Because every time I do, some shit happens and I want to throw myself out a fucking window. But I want to do it before I kill my 3 kids, not after. I watch on YouTube and chat, okay. Yeah, hopefully at least something will work on... Something will work. It looks like it's stable. It's just the chat delay is fucking horrendous, unfortunately. Nothing I can really do about that. You have a schedule where? Don't worry about it. It doesn't exist. It's a lie. It's a fucking lie. And by the way, Soulman, I'm going to need you to do some voice acting for me. When I'm finally at the stage that I've got this all like edited together and stuff, I'm going to need you to do some voice acting for me. I'm going to harass you. You don't have a choice. Now, let's take a look at some GTA. Like I said, it doesn't matter how good GTA is going to be. The hype has overtaken it. It's never going to live up to whatever people have in their head. People are going to find something to bitch about, and they're always going to do that no matter what. It doesn't matter. This could be a 10 out of 10. Doesn't matter. People will bitch about this game. Luckily, I'm a famous voice actor now. Great. Perfect. I don't know what your rate is, but it's going to be $0 now. Will you also react to the bio AI vid or next week? No, we're going to look at that today, but I want to get through the GTA stuff first and then see what else is in the Discord and go from there, because today is going to be a short stream because I've got to get at least a bare minimum of 4 hours sleep before I go help one of my students like work out a strategy for the competition he's competing in on Sunday. Little bastard told me at the last minute. So, let's see what GTA 6 has for us. Hopefully something good.
Crackheads!
I guess they know we're coming.
All right, that's the block right here. Be cool. Don't, you know.
What?
Nothing.
Yo, what the fuck?
I'm just saying, you can't see this because my face is blocking this. That right there is, I've been told by a Mexican that this is what's known as optimal gordita build. And I don't know what gordita means, but apparently you plow that, you get into a relationship with that, and about 2 years later, she weighs more than your fucking car. Apparently this is optimal gordita build, and this is how they catch you. But at least they made it thick. That's a really nice hip to waist ratio. I'm glad they didn't fuck that up.
Yo, what's up? Y'all trying to smoke?
No. Y'all know Booby?
Booby, huh? Yeah. He ain't here, though.
Well, we're picking something up for him. You know anything about that?
Food's a Jesus, I hope not.
Yeah, go inside and ask for Raymond, bruh.
Appreciate it.
I didn't know this game was based in South Africa. This is like every street corner when you hit the city center looks like this.
Like, might have to fuck around and shake some shit, know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't even want to hear that shit.
Hey.
Like, I don't even want to hear that shit. Hold up, bro. Yo. Y'all need something?
Raymond?
Nah.
Something's missing. Maybe it's just because I love San Andreas, but something feels like it's missing here. It seems like they've gone so deep into realism that they've lost the wackiness.
What you want?
Booby sent us for a pickup.
All right. Yo,
This feels more like Watch Dogs than GTA.
we going up. Right inside.
Oh, fuck yeah. South African lifts.
Remember that red
Hell yeah. I'm gonna feel right at home if I play this game.
Said you was here for a pickup or a drop-off.
Pick up.
Can't be South Africa. They still have power. Fair. Fair. Also, if you go to any of the government buildings that do have lifts that you use, and I've been in a few of them because I've had to do government documentation stuff recently, the lifts, you can see through the grates in the floor to the burning disaster beneath you, that if that tiny little cable snaps above you, what the last thing that's going to be going through your mind is going to be your ass, followed by the metal shards at the bottom of the lift.
Straight up, first door on the right.
Yep.
Can't wait for the copper stealing minigame.
Man. How you doing, big guy?
Hey, Soul Man, you're famous. I didn't know you played a role in GTA.
This has got to be the door, right?
Looks like it.
That's, you know, that's the perfect word to describe this, Jack. You're right. This feels sterile so far, but maybe it's building up to something wacky. I hope it is.
What you want?
Yo, is Raymond around?
Nah, never heard of him.
Yo, we're here to pick up for Booby.
Alright, hold up. Yo, Ray, these two say they for Booby?
Already told that motherfucker what the fuck going on, man.
Jesus Christ. They're just throwing ass out everywhere.
Seriously sent y'all over here right now.
No end drop so far. Yeah, no, you're not getting that.
We're just here to collect, man.
Why he
Did they
ain't
say
come
booby? Yes.
You ain't asked yourself that.
No.
Look, we could go back empty-handed.
My partner's off the grid right now, you feel me? Until I figure out where the fuck he at and what the fuck going on, we in a holding pattern right here.
So Booby knows all this, right?
Yeah, he fucking knows. Problem is, he only worried about himself. Yo, phone. Let me tell y'all something. At this point, I really don't give a fuck.
Hey, pack that shit up. Yo, Ray, it's him. Ernesto.
Put on speakerphone.
Raymond.
Yo, Nesto.
Raymond.
Where the fuck you at?
Óyeme, mi hermano.
White gloves but no pants. You're obviously not a connoisseur of making drugs, right? You're obviously not a connoisseur of it, Grimoire, right? You don't get it. You just don't get it, right? As someone who knows very many chemical engineers, but also lives in a country where drugs are like the #2 industry in the country. When you're working with anything that's a material like composites or like resins, or you're working with certain chemicals, what you want to do is you don't want to have clothes on, because if it gets into the clothes, it stains the fabric, and that fabric's fucked forever, right? So a lot of the time, you don't want to have clothes on, but you want to have gloves on, because when you mix certain things together, they may cause damage to your hands and shit. So the chemicals don't get on the clothes, yes. Mostly, though, it's just in case of certain chemical spills.
No, we got a situation
So
happening.
they don't steal.
Our friends on
That
the task
too.
force are on their way. They said they're paying you a visit, so just let them take whatever they want, okay?
What the fuck you talking about? You know I got a nigga outside your mama house, right?
Oh, there we go. There we got an N-bomb.
Raymond, listen very closely, cabrón. Raymond.
The fuck is that?
Hey.
Hey, yo, Ray, it's 12.
What up,
They
Carol?
tools up and everything.
Raymond.
Let's get these workers out of here, man.
Estás ahí, coño.
Oh, wait, this way. Oh, come on. Move.
I've always been there for you. But this what I get?
Please, don't fucking move.
Please, don't move. He's black. Shoot him.
It is what it is, my friend.
Holy shit.
Stay down.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. Okay, I want you to look at the scene. I can see it already. I can see where this is going already. This is what this looks like to me.
Get back inside. Get inside.
It looks more like Uncharted than it looks like GTA to me.
Come on. We need to find a way out. Got Booby's bricks.
Fuck Booby. You gotta get out of this.
Yeah, this feels on rails. This very much feels on rails instead of that sandboxy vibe that you got from GTA.
Move, cover.
On it.
Okay, now we have a Fallout QuickTime moment. What the fuck's going on here?
Fuck him.
Can't you fucking handle a
It's a story mission. Okay, if it's a story mission, that's fair. But I would figure that even if it was a story mission, they would give you options as to where you can go, whether you could go backwards or forwards or anywhere else. Like you usually in GTA, or at least I'm referencing San Andreas here as my like line in the sand, right? When you're doing a story mission, there are certain ways to complete a story mission. It doesn't have to be done in a certain way unless it's one of the escort quests or like where you have to drive around the guy who keeps on jerking off in the back of the car. Or it's like the mission where you have to know how to swim to do things. Usually there's more than one way that you can accomplish a mission. Usually. What up, Blue? Same problem Legendary Drops complained about. The studio is trying to squeeze in every single mechanic they've seen in successful third-person shooter narrative games. He's right. I was actually going to look at the Legendary Drops videos. Yeah, I'm going to probably have a lot of opinions that are the same as his.
Hey, man, this ain't even loaded. Oh, too bad. Clean this shit out.
Okay, so the cops are either corrupt or racist.
Yep.
Expected.
Think he saw us?
No, he couldn't have. Oh, coño.
Yo, they got more cops coming in from downstairs. Get in here before they get your ass.
Thanks, man.
Hey, man, what the fuck going on? What the fuck y'all doing in here?
You ain't hear all that outside? Now, just hold on a minute.
Hold on. You got motherfuckers running up in my house? You are not allowed to just come in here. Every time I try to find
I wish the cops were like
And that's
this.
my fault.
Where's the funny moments? James, that was the funny moment. Where she screeched my AC. Ha 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 ha. Oh, millennial writing, so good. Ha 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 ha. Okay, hijacking, that's fine. See, that looked more like GTA. That scene with the road where the cars are going fucking wacky and you just got some random person running, that seemed more GTA than the rest of this.
Hey,
Hey, Jay. I bought these. What do you think?
I can't buy my own clothes, you know.
Sure you can. But would they look that good?
Yeah, okay. You know, Brian wants us there for cocktails.
Uh-huh.
You know what you're gonna wear yet?
Relax, Jay. Okay. What do you think?
Sequins?
Sequins?
Okay, the other one.
Now, you see, that's the basic bitch mistake, right? Guys do this a lot, right? What you want to do, it's the same as ordering food with a woman, right? You just say that one, and then they're going to immediately choose something else, right? It's like if they say, I'm hungry, we got to order food. You say, okay, McDonald's, and they immediately want KFC. That's how you do it.
You know what you're wearing right now looks pretty good, so you want to head out? I don't want to be late.
Yeah, all right. Just give me a few seconds.
Damn, they really gave her ass, though. I can appreciate that, at least. Okay, this is the point in the game where you should be able to sit down and play something on a console for the next 4 hours while you wait for her to get ready. If they're going for realism, go all the way.
Does life feel hopeless? Are you constantly searching for a way out? Luckily for you, those days are over, thanks to Angstapan.
Ah, the great outdoors. Nature's playground. A carnival of infinite possibilities. Overflowing with creatures great and small. Magnificent and proud. Hungry? not anymore. Mouth-watering meats from the open range, topped off with our world-famous buns.
Okay, that hurt. That hurt. And I'll tell you why that hurt. I'm going to explain why that hurt. These used to be the kinds of things you would hear when there were like ads playing in GTA.
A man ran into a woman with a car. Who is wrong? The man, because you can't drive into the kitchen.
No, that's GTA 5, sorry. That's the shittier ones. That's the shittier ones that are just like reused jokes that everyone's been hearing for like the last fucking century. Sorry, excuse me. Where is it? There's gotta be one of them. I'm looking for a very specific one. Here we go. I think it's this one.
8.3, the emotion. We give you emotion 24/7, not just once a month.
Old Max, we go everywhere together. Right, boy?
At Pet Stuffers, we know there's nothing like a relationship between a man and his dog. Sometimes you just can't let go.
Max, you didn't eat your food. That's the second week in a row. Max?
When the unspeakable happens, just put your four-legged friend in the refrigerator or freezer. Then call Pet Stuffers. We'll be there within a week to pick him up, and in less than a month he'll be back as good as new. Through an ancient Egyptian miracle process called taxidermy, you and your best friend will always be together.
Yeah, that's a good dog.
Pet Stuffers, when you...
They used to have shit like that on every single radio station the entire time. And if that's the level of ad, great, wonderful. You've done such a good job with the visuals, but you've completely missed the entire vibe of what GTA was. There was like a whole thing. I still remember this one. I think it was in Vice City, where there's a whole thing talking about how there was like an ad talking about how women shouldn't vote. They should be getting guns instead so they can shoot people. That way they don't have to vote. They can use their gun instead. Like there was something like that. They had like so many of those fucking ads in the old GTAs. And if these are the ad qualities, like the things you're going to hear on the radio, by comparison, I already know it's fucked. I hope that there's something like that in this game.
Ready.
Damn, worth the wait.
But I don't understand why the devs are okay with murder but draw a line at humor and edgy jokes. It's because the writers have decided what is acceptable and what is not. The people at the top of the ladder are saying, but this doesn't test well with certain focus groups. It's just too edgy. It offends them. Because it offends them on a personal level, they see themselves as the law. You'll notice this about people in general, right? There are people who care about output, and then there are people who care about method. People who care about method tend to care about how something is said, not what is being said, right? If you see a black guy with a gun in the street about to shoot you, and you say, there's an N-word, get down, one person will duck behind a car, and another person will be like, that's offensive, I can't believe you, and then their head gets blown off, right? Certain people care more about how something is said than what is being said. And the humor in most things in life is about how you say something, not about what you're actually saying.
Here we go.
GTA 5 was bullshit. GTA 5 felt like a wisp of what GTA is meant to be, by comparison.
Finally.
Okay.
I don't know, it seemed fine to me, and they could be saving the best ones for when you play the game. I hope so.
Your wound up a little tight. What's up?
I hope you're right.
I just don't like being late.
We're not that late.
Ryan's doing us a favor, you know? You need this intro.
I get it.
You know, doing some deep fucking shit.
I get that too.
Who is this guy? You know, besides Brian's old cellmate.
I don't know as much as you. Cal might have said he was like former Dominican intelligence or something.
Damn.
What?
Just kind of wish we weren't running late.
Really? Oh.
What? I didn't know all this. Relationships are about communication, Jay.
Alright, well, this seems fine.
Sure, I'm sorry.
This seems like GTA, except he's not slamming into people. Okay, why did we need this cutscene? It would have been funny if he just fell off the bridge.
What the hell are you doing?
You seeing this? Well, look who's back.
The male protagonist's voice doesn't seem charismatic. I don't think he needs to sound charismatic. I think he needs to be unique, right? The voice actor for CJ did such an exceptional job because if you say CJ, you've immediately got the sound of that guy's voice in your head saying a line like, oh shit, here we go again. If I say Big Smoke, you immediately recognize that line. If I say Gay Tony, you immediately recognize that voice, right? His voice doesn't seem novel. It doesn't seem memorable. I barely noticed anything he said.
What?
Sometimes I'm just more comfortable when I have to use a gun, you know?
Just be charming, okay?
Yeah.
And don't worry about Brian. Dude's retired. I mean, look at Lori's Snapmatic. Looks like they're loving it.
Neither of these characters have said anything interesting so far.
They are at the bar.
I'll meet us in Broad.
Oh, my God, as I live and breathe, look at the two of you.
Hey, Lori. It's good to see you, Brian.
Uh-huh.
Oh, come here, give us a hug. I told Brian I thought you two were both dead for sure. Now, what have you gotten yourselves into?
What about the VA of GTA Liberty? Yeah, he also did a great job.
I want to know everything.
He's memorable. I'm personally gonna reference San Andreas more than Vice City because I have more memories of San Andreas.
I don't know what this is.
Look, I was just sightseeing with my girl.
Do tourists carry these?
Yo!
Shut up! Hold on.
This is so fucked. Well, Brian was quite the stud back in the day.
Was. Wait.
What's up?
A job, it has to be done tonight.
Tonight?
He wants it on the quiet, huh? He only wants one of you.
Well?
You know...
I don't mind.
I mean,
Well, if you wanted to.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, my God. Oh, God. That's what it is, right? It's like GTA is trying to take itself seriously, as opposed to being what it was, right? Where it took nothing seriously in the past.
Enjoy your dinner, guys. I'll be back for dessert.
Well, I'll walk you out. I need the ladies.
Yeah, let's take in the view. I never get to smoke weed in front of Lori. Ever tell you about the fairground rolled into my hometown when I was a kid?
I don't think so.
So far, it feels like I'm watching a shitty movie series that I'm going to drop after 2 episodes.
They had bale mazes and Ferris wheel. Hell, it was the highlight of the goddamn summer for us kids.
Everybody, hands so we can see them!
And they had this beautiful carousel. One night, we snuck in, and a buddy of mine, he got it working.
Look what the law chased in.
What was a fight beat?
Leonidas, baby.
Then he cranked the speed up so fast that we thought we was flying. It started going faster and faster, and it's getting harder to hold on. And I said, well, shit, that ain't good. And I fucking jumped. Jimmy Canto stayed on, cracked his head open, and that night...
You got a point?
Yeah. Yeah? You gotta know when to get off, Jason.
It feels too grounded and with too much realistic graphics. Whoop. Yeah, don't have to worry about that. It's not the graphics, right? I don't have a problem with the graphics. I have a problem with the writing, right? This feels like a shitty miniseries that you would watch because there's nothing else on TV, right? The graphics are perfectly fine as they are. It's that it's trying to take itself too seriously. There's no actual wacky shit behind it.
You hear me? Come, let's head back.
Game devs totally want to be, today, want to be film directors and storytellers. They do, and they couldn't crack it in their writing job, writing for movies and shit, so they have to invade the video game space and fuck it up for everyone else. It's really irritating. When it's like GTA 6, like GTA in general, has always been this very non-serious, let's just make the wildest shit possible, say the craziest shit imaginable, make every single quest into like a case of how the fuck did I end up here? Bonnie and Clyde thing going here. Yeah, but the problem is Bonnie and Clyde are probably more interesting characters if you go and look at all the stuff that they did together in real life as opposed to what's going on here.
Everybody wanna say where they been. Hey, got this Raul guy's car and heading to the address he gave.
Nice. On my way.
Yo, so I've been thinking and I don't think we should tell him about, you know, our troubles, not just yet.
Well, that was the whole point of this.
Look, he could sell us out or put a bullet through our heads. I mean, seriously, what reason do we have?
OG Low quest was peak. I'll do you one better. Woozy Moo's quests were great.
I have to trust this guy.
All right. So how do you want to play it?
Slow play. Just say, hi, nice to meet you. Here's your car. Where's our payment? Please let us know about any further criminal opportunities.
Okay. See you there.
Yep.
You miss me?
I've been busy. You gonna text this guy? The dude could be a cop for all we know.
He's not a cop, all right? He's just cautious. It's probably why he survived so long. We could learn something.
Maybe you could.
Yeah. You're the perfect criminal.
Jason. Lucia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Go?
Yeah, go. Like right fucking now. What you think I needed to live for?
Shit. Yeah, he's cautious, right?
Vamos, vamos.
It's really the writing, right? It's really the writing. That's the part that's killing me here. Like, like the characters are uninteresting. They're dull. You made a good point when you said if they had full control over what they show us, why show us this? The graphics are fine. The gameplay looks okay. If having a few issues, it's the writing and the storytelling here that doesn't match up with the style of what GTA should be. That you could name this game anything other than GTA 6 and release it, and people would criticize it because of that. The pacing seems really weird. I agree. The pacing's off.
Hey,
it's
bro,
really the writing
get
and
your ass
storytelling
back
that's bad here.
Come on, you gotta hold
And the
this
voice
fucking
lines.
Got a little something for your plate.
Think about it. Think about how you could fix this really fucking quickly, right? The guy who jumps into the back of the car is in his fucking underwear, and he's like a crazy British guy who's talking about like how he's got a bag of crack at home that they can smoke together, and the main character's not into that or whatever. Like, but you could have these same scenes with better writing, and they would nail down the GTA style.
Here, you take this.
If I were tasked with fixing this, step one would be cutting 80% of the shots and all the awkward lines. And that's why you'd be fired almost instantaneously.
Don't get us trapped in here, Lou.
Because you'd make it funny.
This is good. Keep cutting through. Back up into this alley here.
Okay.
It's not a pacing issue. We haven't played the game to know. So this is the thing, right? Moonstone. It has to be a pacing issue, not within the game, but within what they're showing us now. Why did they pick these specific scenes to show us the gameplay of the game? But there's been a bunch of cutscenes in here. They've been boring dialogue. Why show us this? Why not give us just a slice of the craziest shit happening and then leave it at that?
That's it. Good. Why don't we just chill here for a minute?
Fucking shit show.
You want me to take the wheel?
What? No.
Look, you think everything always goes as planned, huh? No, mommy, no. There will always be some kind of bullshit. A professional adapts. Are you a professional, Lucia? Huh?
Of course.
Good. I need a professional.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that right there. That writing right there, they're trying to be a movie. They're trying to take themselves too seriously. That's what it is. That's the biggest issue I see.
I see.
The gameplay looks fine.
Too. Let's go.
See, the way to fix this, I can already see like a million ways to fix this, right? So you've got a car chase, you're getting rid of the cops, you'd go into the spray shop, the guy who's the spray shop guy would like repaint your car and put a massive dick on the bonnet, and then you'd be like, what the fuck? The main character would be like, yeah, what the fuck is this? What? You just put a dick on my car. And he's like, no, but that's the genius of it. I put a dick on the car because the cops aren't looking for cars with dicks on them, right? Do something like that. It would be so easy.
Okay, out. Don't leave anything in here.
See, that seems fine. That's the choice wheel.
All right, Jason. We're cargo.
Copy.
Maybe some warning next time?
What should I tell you to put in your calendar? Friday morning, bank robbery. Come on.
We passed the test?
You did fine. We're still alive. This could be the start of something good. Keep your phones on. Oh, mamita. Dichoso los ojos.
Oh, hey.
Take me to the loop, baby. I need to see it.
Does this mean we're in his crew?
Yeah, I think so.
You think he can help us?
We don't have any better ideas, do we? Where are we?
Back in Bayside.
Want to take a look around?
I wonder if someone's done a percentage breakdown of how much of this has been cutscenes versus actual gameplay. That looks fine. That looks fine. I don't have a problem with that. None of this is a problem. This is why I say this really feels like a writing issue. There we go. At least we got some of it.
Yo, Jay, what's happening, baby? This is Rooney. What's up, girl?
Try to keep it clean.
Get hell with you!
Hey, I'm watching.
Give me the ring on your finger.
Cops are on their way.
Oh shit! Who the fuck are you?
What the fuck is this?
Oh, the drunk challenge!
Wait, did you steal my friend's car?
Yeah.
Holy shit, Chad! What do I do?
Okay, that's not bad writing. That's just accurate.
Jesus.
Look! Look! The actual cops are chasing us.
I bet you be real good at battle rapping, dog.
Oh, yeah?
Lucia, Jason, come take a seat. I'm waiting on the ETA for the flight.
The guy's not banned off stream Twitch, by the way. Yeah, of course he's not. He's going to be atop of the charts soon. He's going to sexually assault someone and abuse his dog. And he's going to replace the highest streamers out there. And then he'll say some wild shit and nothing's going to happen to him. As long as he sucks the CEO's dick. This is so worth paying monthly subscription to Netflix to see. More games should do this. Video probably about to finish and still yet to see anything exciting. It's really missing that element. It's it feels so deadpan. Everything seems on point here, except the writing. And someone said it earlier. The voice lines feel like clips. They feel like cuts of something. They don't feel like an actual conversation between two people. Sandraken, thanks for the follow. It's missing. It's really missing. Like that soul that came with GTA. It's got all the elements. It's got all the gameplay that looks fine. It's got the graphical upgrades that everyone expected. It's got, like... Maybe this is just me. Maybe this is just me. But I've never seen the robbery of a convenience store looks so fucking boring. But maybe that's just me.
Hi.
Can I get you anything? Tea, coffee, champagne?
3 more champagnes. Thank you.
Be right back.
Trust me, a slight buzz will only help you.
So, Val, I know it's a party, but we are working, right?
The job is Andres de Leon. Protect him, but keep him in line. Gas him up. Boost his ego. Make him feel good about himself.
Babysit.
Hey, there's a sight for sore eyes. Tina, what's up, chula?
Andres! It's been forever. How is everything?
Oh, man, it's been nonstop.
Lucia, Jason, please meet Andres de Leon.
Sorry, guys, I'm a hugger. Come in here, get in here. Yeah.
That's too close to reality.
Yes, all right. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, gorgeous. All right, strong. Good job.
Should we go, gentlemen?
You guys, you the driver?
Sure.
All right, let's go.
Come on.
All right, well,
All right, fuck it. You ready for this party, bro?
I don't know, maybe.
All right. What do you mean, maybe?
I'm ready for our party. I don't know about this party.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Hey, driver, what was your name again?
The male voice actor is definitely far worse than the female one.
Here we go.
Welcome. How's your flight, sir?
Yeah, real good time. Hey, those...
Also, they admitted to making the guy blander and robotic so that people would play the female. That's the dumbest fucking decision. If that's true, that's the dumbest fucking decision I've ever heard. Because what that means is that they are so shitty at their writing that they can't figure out how to make the female character as interesting as the male character. And so they need to dumb down the male character so the female character looks more interesting. If that's true, that is the shittiest indictment of the writing on this game that I can think of. There's so much interesting shit they could have done with both of those characters. I'm working off assuming that's true.
Waitresses were all NDA, yeah?
Michael and Franklin had better chemistry? Yes.
The flight attendants? Yes, of course.
98 after the fact, that's a rookie move, bro.
And you guys got our room sorted.
Yes, it's all ready for you. 24th floor executive conference room.
Perfect! Let's go freshen up, bro.
Let's do it.
Hey, honey, so a couple of Alonso's producers friends are in town and we're gonna do a deep dive into my creative roadmap. So we up in the conference room doing a little business and, you know, think tank stuff, okay?
Seriously? Right now?
Yeah, baby, you snooze, you lose.
Increíble.
Petra, can I introduce you to Andres' new security detail, Jason and Lucia? This is Petra Navarro, COO of Megamundo.
Yes, good.
Can I take you up?
Yes, please, let's go. I don't want to spend the whole night in the lobby. Let him do what he does. Then I want him down here, okay?
You got it.
Buenas noches, señoras.
Gustavo, I want you to meet Lucia. She's part of the new security detail that we hired for Andres.
Honestly, I'm like, why show this? Why are they showing this? Why are they showing this specifically? Why are they showing all these cutscenes of these conversations that don't seem to matter? We've seen barely any crazy shit happen. The interactions between the characters have been bland. The male voice actor, he really sounds like a background character. I dozed off again? I don't blame you. Why show this specifically?
Some security guy just took my guns.
It's a good thing you're good with your hands. These guys seem to have it covered. We should be fine.
Okay.
Here I come.
Maybe they're showing the parts that don't drop frames. Don't say that. Don't say that. This game better perform really fucking well.
A private meeting, don't come in.
I hope you're wrong.
Hey, Andres.
Whoa, hey, it's okay. He's my guy. Hey, buddy, just christening the new building.
Hey, man.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Hey, man.
Like this kind of scene, this just drags out forever. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why show this? Why show people standing in a room talking?
You want to get us a bottle of tequila, some sparkling water, a few beers?
You can fix a lot of this with editing? Absolutely.
You know, just the selection shit to drink, yeah? Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so they just called and asked me to bring you down to the party now? Petra wants you. There's some big speech happening.
No, fuck that shit. Fuck that.
Sorry, hard pass. Man, we're on a roll here, Frontal cortex is in overdrive. I mean, how many ideas did I just have in the last 5 minutes, bro?
So many, bro. So fucking many.
It's like the band's back together and I just met these fucking guys.
Come on, guys.
Hello, everyone. I just want to thank you all for coming here tonight to join us in celebrating the opening of Megamundo's first corporate headquarters on American soil. But we all did this together, as a family. Party's over! Everybody on the ground! Let me protect the asset!
I love GTA and Red Dead Redemption, but why don't I even have enough motivation to finish this first look? I'll tell you exactly why. It's because it's missing soul. It's really missing soul. Right, the writing is, generally speaking, the crazy shit that happens in GTA is usually what ties the entire experience together. And it's missing all of that.
Give me the phone.
Who am I gonna call? I'm not stupid.
Hi, guys. How's it going down there?
Who the fuck is this?
We'll talk more later, okay?
¿Qué carajo? Tenemos un problema. ¡Mierda, granada!
Finally, some good fucking visuals.
Nice distraction, Jay. A bit
Those
dramatic.
pants need to be tighter, though.
I'm going upstairs. He's got Andres.
Shit. Okay, I'm on my way.
Oh, I didn't know they were going to give her the NBA wife treatment.
I don't know, man. They don't tell me shit. Jacob!
It has no bite, it's safe, edgy writing. And now I want you to tell me right now, where do you see the safe, edgy component of the writing? Because I don't see any safe, edgy at all. All I really see here is safe writing. Right, this feels like a ChatGPT kind of script, where it's just been medianized to the most common denominator of what you would expect. What's with that music? They think it's cool. That, like, I think they're trying to make the music do the heavy lifting of feeling like there's action, but it's giving off like a molasses feel to it instead. Oh, and we get bullet time. Because that's what GTA usually has.
Hurts, right? Try wearing a bitch.
Okay. This is excruciating.
Might not feel like it, but these are your glory days. The salad years, you know? Nothing is gonna beat who you are now. You can't see all the fucked up shit that's looming on the horizon.
Standing tight.
Enjoy this, dude. If this right now was all that there is, all the time, it would be perfect.
Just like
Trust me.
you wanna dance, you don't know how to get it on the floor. And don't hold back for anyone. Close your eyes, just follow the inner light.
That was rough. Captured on a PS5, I know. I can tell. The music confuses me the most. I played Vice City and played 80s in the background while riding horses in Red Dead. But I don't like the choices for all the previews I've seen so far. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel either, right? Because the gameplay looks okay. The graphics are obviously fantastic. They've done a good job with that. We've seen some of the car stuff. It's really missing the wacky element. It's really missing that out there element that does crazy shit. Right? I see no crazy shit. It feels like medianized writing that's been thrown into ChatGPT. It doesn't do anything interesting or exciting. None of the characters have been memorable. The voice acting, particularly of the male character, has been so fucking dog shit that I can't even remember a single line that he said so far. It's gone in one ear and out the other. There's not even been safe, edgy kind of stuff going on here. There's nothing that's landing as fucking wild or insane here. There's nothing. It really feels like they're trying to make a movie video game here. Dude kills an enemy completely silent. Gil kills one guy. Badass phrase. Dad, I don't care. Like all of the writing seems to be the massive issue here. This is what I mean. Music fit in Vice City because that fit the time period of the game. The music is being used for your nostalgia, but doesn't really fit. It doesn't. The music does feel off. It feels like I'm watching the Mortal Kombat 10 trailer again. The guy VA said, okay, and yeah, a bunch. I completely forgot. Nothing lands. It's mediocre. How do I put this out? How do I make this make sense? If you do something terribly, it will still be remembered. If you do something great, it will be remembered. If you do something mediocre, it's not even worth remembering. That's the problem I'm seeing with the writing. Like, everything seems fine about that. Everything really seems fine about that, and then they fall apart in the writing. A moment of silence for the people that didn't make it here. Proof you're here under 24 hours. Huh. Fine, I'll watch it again. Fun fact, every time you watch this, you'll be 26 minutes and 48 seconds closer to the release date. I can't believe the before GTA 6 meme will soon expire. Money and free time, 2026 money, no free time, in memory of all the gamers. So, everyone's glazing it pretty fucking hard. Everyone's really glazing it. For $1,200. Oh, fuck me. That's out of my price range. That's way too expensive. Jesus. That's... Oh, man. What's painful to sit through is the fucking writing here. That really hurts my soul. Because, like, everything else seems fine. Everything else seems fine. And then they do that? Like, what the hell were they thinking? That really hurts. Jesus. Alright, well, let's see what other people think. Because, like, maybe it's just a me problem, right? Maybe I'm just a cranky old fucking boomer, and the reason I'm like this is because I'm old as fuck, and I played GTA San Andreas during its peak years. It's the vibe. It feels like Netflix show of an action thriller living in a modern city. I play GTA for the hood culture that only those that have been... Yeah, it's missing the hood culture. It's missing the, like, wider element of like, different areas being themed and having different things going on and different gangs and stuff like that. It's... I wonder if they're keeping that in the back, though. Try looking on a website that Rockstar doesn't control. That's what I'm going to do right now. Because Rockstar doesn't control YouTube, as far as I'm aware. We're going to start with this guy. I get the vibe that this guy played San Andreas. I get the vibe this guy played Vice City. Just by his looks. Just by his age. Maybe he's got some interesting thoughts on this. I suppose we'll see. What's the song? This is from World of Warcraft.
Hey everybody, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode where nothing's easy. Warriors and wenches, how y'all doing? And God bless you all. I am laughing my ass off. But before I start to talk about the GTA 6 leaks, I'd like to refer to you guys to the Boston Tea Party, or the what led to the Revolutionary War. Well, the British India Company wanted to tax...
People are glazing it because otherwise they would be admitting they wasted their time shilling for it. GTA 6 just looks like an on-rail cinematic movie. From what they showed us, yes. I'm hoping that there's more in the actual game itself. But I can only judge based on what I've seen so far. And it is so far, the most offensive thing I've seen is how mediocre the writing was. That's it.
Their tea over here into America, and a lot of people, the colonists, did not like it because the British were not part of, America, America, and they wanted to be pretty much, obviously, America being independent. And if they wanted to do business, well, they got to do business the right way, the Tax Act, that sort of thing. Well, people didn't. Britain didn't like that. So Britain.
Oh wait, okay. Never mind. We're gonna give this one a skip. This is about the GTA leaks, not GTA itself. So I thought that was about GTA, so I'm going to give that one a skip for now. We'll look at the leaks and all of the stuff that's happening with CyberLeak later. GTA 5 reveal was better, but I have hopes. So that wasn't really a reveal so much as it was a gameplay trailer, but my problem with that being a gameplay trailer was that they showed so many cinematics, and they showed some of the worst voice acting lines I've ever seen so far. It's missing soul. Let's see what Legendary Drops has to say, though. Maybe he's got a better, he's had time to think about this, because, I mean, he's probably seen this long before I have. Let's see.
Minds. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. Frankly, it's starting to make me feel a bit uncomfortable. Now, leaks aside, though they still have a part to play in this entire story. Man, AAA, you never fail to surprise me. It seems like even just getting a whiff at what this game could potentially be is driving people out of their minds. They're throwing caution to the wind. They're pre-ordering this game in mass numbers.
Wait, Rockstar is super mega doxing everyone who covers the leaks too much? I'd refrain. Counterpoint, Green Sky Wizard. I live in Africa. What are they gonna fucking do? Ship me a bag of UNICEF rice?
Numbers without even seeing what it is. They don't even care at this point. To the point that it's actually surprising the CEOs of these companies. Not to mention the fact that they're lining up to pay for a Netflix subscription to watch a trailer 6 hours early. Oh, God. Look, man, I get it. I really do. I understand that for a lot of people, Grand Theft Auto 6, it's their game. And Rockstar, for them, has always delivered. And honestly, that's probably pretty true. And on top of that, this industry has failed a lot of these people. AAA games have just been not very good. And this might be the first game in a long time that might actually be worth their time and worth their money and worth them getting excited for. Hell, it might even be the last in some cases. But those expectations have basically...
This feels like a similar fall to what Saints Row had. It kind of does. Like, I'm judging this based on what I'm seeing, right? It doesn't feel like GTA. That's the problem I have. The vibe is off. It doesn't have the writing to back up what GTA has been in the past. But this has kind of been something that's been moving in this direction for a while. I mean, we saw this with GTA 5, where they did a lot less of the interesting, wacky shit that was offensive than what you saw in previous GTA games.
Kind of taking things into irrational territory. Grand Theft Auto 6 is no longer just supposed to be a game or the next game in a series. It's supposed to be the game that's going to save the AAA gaming space and also somehow deliver on 13 years of imagining what this game is going to be. And when you...
And it's not going to be able to. Let's work under the assumption, right? Let's work under the assumption that what we saw in the gameplay trailer was them just wanting to show how the game functions, not any of the writing, not any of the wacky shit. They want to keep that for the game itself. Let's work under the best assumption whatsoever. None of that matters, because at the end of the day, there is no way that this game is going to live up to the hype that people have been building on it for the last 13 years. Did you notice they added pay to win in Guild Wars 1? No.
You have that many people that are that excited about something, that are that desperate for something. They are the perfect lab rat. And man, does that excite a lot of these companies. There's been a lot that's happened since I've been gone. And one thing that I was not going to let go of was the fact that I saw...
But is that really a fair assumption to make? No, it's not. But if you want... So this is the thing you do, right? If you're ever going to be in a debate or you're going to argue with something, right? What you should do is you should steel man the opponent's argument to try and see where they might be going in case they end up being right. Right? That's why I'm making that argument. Right? Let's assume it is a 10 out of 10 game. Let's assume all of that is happening and then work from that perspective. That's the way I'm looking at it. What up, Dunnicole? It's been a while. How you been? I didn't see a single hooker getting shot, not a wacky thing made by the player. Every action scene felt like a cinematic. It felt like a movie, right? It felt like an actual movie, like they're trying to make a movie as opposed to making GTA.
Content creators and journalists and players and basically everybody trying to come in and defend Rockstar, putting their new gameplay trailer, their reveal that they're going to do, behind a 6-hour paywall on Netflix. And they said that it's inconsequential. They said that it's nothing. It's nothing for you to pay attention to. And these people are either lying, they're either covering for the industry, or they just have no idea what any of this means. Because it's not the trailer, it's not the 6 hours, it's the precedent, it's the experiment. They're trying to see how much they can monetize. And even more so, they want to see how much you are willing to spend without giving you anything.
Yeah, but that's unsurprising. I mean, video game industry has been heading that way in a while. That's why early access is a bomb that's waiting to go off. That's why they're going to try and get you to pre-order. That's why they're going to get you to try and pay money to see gameplay previews. all of this from the AAA industry is completely unsurprising. And the second that anyone gives any ground, they're going to take... Well, you're going to give them a finger, they're going to take like fucking 1,000 kilometers from you. That's just how it works. That's always going to be the case. That's always been the case. I'm unsurprised by this. This is just another step down the road to hell that we've been going down forever, ever since Horse Armor. By the way, GTA 6 does not come with online at launch, possibly could be an add-on or subscription. So they're probably going to, based on this, that they're trying to make people pay a Netflix subscription thing for gameplay footage. I would be unsurprised to find out that they're going to strap a subscription thing to GTA Online later.
So today,
that wouldn't shock me.
We're going to be talking about the absurd pre-order numbers, the insane expectations around this game, what Take-Two's own numbers say about this entire situation and where all of this is heading, and how that stupid little 6-hour Netflix window matters a hell of a lot more than people think. GTA 6 isn't just trying to see how much you're going to pay for a game. They're testing to see how much you're going to tolerate before you even get one.
They'll tolerate everything. They'll tolerate all of it, by the way. Hold on, I missed Nicole's message there. They're gonna push this as hard as possible. I've been good, worked as a baker all summer. Ah, did you put some buns in the oven? Huh? Hopefully it was someone else's buns and not yours. Online is always late to Rockstar games, same with Red Dead and GTA 5. So like the online thing coming later, I think it doesn't matter so much that it comes later, because there's the entire single player story to play through. There's the world, there's the sandbox, there's everything else that comes with that. What I'm interested to see is whether they're going to make GTA 6 Online a subscription service or not. That's going to be the big deciding factor there. That's going to be a big question mark until they get that right, or whether they reveal that or not. Whoever's deciding what goes into what trailer, I hope he is one of the people fired, because you don't put emphasis on the characters and story and gameplay reveal. You do that in the story trailer. That's what makes me think that they're trying to be a serious game. And that's really concerning, especially from Rockstar.
For that, a word from today's sponsor, Helix Mattress. See, I've been sleeping better sleep
out of there.
The water didn't get that high. I have no idea how this game is even real anymore. Every bit of news that comes out around it either shifts my expectations or just my fundamental understanding of reality into places that my brain can barely even comprehend. Grand Theft Auto 6 is just not behaving like a normal game launch. Hell, it's maybe not even a launch of anything at this point. We're still 3 months away. Rockstar opens pre-orders for a game that they still haven't even shown a single frame of actual gameplay for, and somehow, even Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick seems surprised by the outcome. When speaking to GamesBeat about whether he was taking a victory lap over their pre-orders, Zelnick responded, "Well, I said pre-orders were exceptional and vastly beyond our expectations." So that...
I mean, really? Really, this is a game people have been waiting for 5 million years. Of course they get... Whoa, what the fuck? No, go back. What the hell was that?
Haven't even shown a single...
God damn, my fucking mouse. Whenever I touch this mouse now, it just clicks randomly. I don't know if you can really be surprised at the pre-orders and that. Not with how much hype this game is built up. It will still be free. They make their money from shark cards. You say that now. But remember, if you had a PlayStation, in order to access online, you used to have to pay a subscription fee. Well, not used to. You still do. Why wouldn't they think they could get away with a subscription fee for online play? The question is, why wouldn't they do it? Because they haven't in the past. That's never been an argument that's held up ever, because in the past they didn't like flood games with skins and pay to win and a bunch of extra services and so on and so forth. I worry about the online over monetization problem that they may be leaning towards.
Frame of actual gameplay for, and somehow even Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick seems surprised by the outcome. When speaking to GamesBeat about whether he was taking a victory lap over their pre-orders, Zelnick responded, "Well, I said pre-orders were exceptional and vastly beyond our expectations. So that's as close as a victory lap as I'm engaging in." And exceptional is underselling it by quite a lot in this case, because Grand Theft Auto 6 has reportedly already made more than $400 million in pre-sales, with nearly 9
That's unsurprising. I'm surprised it's actually not closer to like 800 million, to be honest.
50% of those sales coming from the Ultimate Edition. Oh God. I've said this before, but this game is going to warp reality when it releases. But this is already going well beyond my own expectations. If those estimates are accurate, Grand Theft Auto 6 has already sold somewhere around like 5 or maybe even 4.5 million copies or something like that before it even releases, without Rockstar even showing people how this game actually plays. So when this game is actually going to release, how many copies is this thing going to sell? It is absolutely going to crush the games industry. None of this makes any sense by normal standards. I mean, yeah, Rockstar has an incredible track record. I'm not going to deny that, but these people don't even fully know what they're even buying yet. They're just completely confident that this is going to be exactly what they want. Grand Theft Auto 6 is already selling at a level that most games would kill to reach for their entire lifetime.
Well, yeah, of course it's selling that much. Do you know how much hype has been built around this fucking game? Of course they're selling that much. I'm shocked it's not more. I had an Xbox, so I've been paying for Xbox Live my entire life. They never charged you for GTA 4 or 5 for online play. The shark cards made a fortune. They have no reason to over-monetize. I think they do. I think they do. Because the problem comes down to the shareholder problem, right? It comes down to the shareholder issue, where it's if you make a decision to not over-monetize, that means in their heads you're leaving money on the table. By doing that, you as the business owner or CEO or CTO or CFO, you have an onus, you have an obligation to the shareholders to return them as much money for their investment as possible. And if you're not doing that, they very likely may replace you with someone who will. Then again, let's assume that this is going to be on Xbox, because they said they captured this footage on PlayStation. If they're going to go for a console push, if it's going to be on both Xbox and PlayStation, they wouldn't want to then add a subscription on top of a subscription that you're already paying for a subscription for access to the internet. So you're probably right about the shark cards. They may find other ways to over-monetize the shit out of it, though. Because GTA Online will basically be an online service game. Horrible take, the fact that they're charging for shops that were free in previous games and then spend millions to make this game. They will. Look, I mean, how long has this game been in development? 13 years? Does 400 million spread over 13 years in amortization cover their loss? And moving forward, if they're going to put GTA Online, how much more money would they be willing to make off of that? When they want money, they'll add flying cars to online and the casino check their profit margins for the last 10 years. You see, I don't know their profit margins. Shareholders can actually sue you if you're under-monetized. Yes, they can. And they can get you ejected and replaced. I don't know. The monetization argument, it's all pie in the sky until we see what they actually do. That's the problem. But currently, they're trying to get people to pay to watch a fucking game trailer on Netflix. I think people are going to have a temper tantrum over that. But let's be honest. I mean, one person pays for that subscription. They rip that entire video. They post it online, and you're going to be able to get a hold of it. So it's not really that big of an issue for anyone with a brain. And I don't see anyone going out of their way to buy a Netflix subscription specifically for that, but maybe I'm underestimating how desperate people are for the next GTA game. I dropped a screenshot in the Reacts game. It comes with a sub currently, and PSN requires PS Plus for any non-Plus. Okay. What is this? One month GTA Plus subscription with pre-order, auto renews, check game and legal info. Okay, that's just auto renews. Grand Theft Auto 6, Vintage Vice City Pack, 1 month of GTA Plus. I don't know what the fuck GTA Plus is. Netflix is the new PC games magazine. What's the difference? I don't see there being a difference. I think Netflix is desperate enough that they'll do whatever they can to try and stay on top of the game, especially since they've got competitors in the space. And now YouTube is releasing a feature known as shows. So that means that YouTube is now encroaching on their territory as well. And I mean, usage of YouTube on TVs has been fucking skyrocketing over the last year. So they're trying to move into you're sitting on the couch watching a show on YouTube as opposed to watching it on your phone or a PC. So I think Netflix is going to be doing everything it can. No one knows what GTA Plus is yet, but they're charging for it. The Plus will be shark cards. It might be more. It might be less. It's hard to say until we know what the fuck is going on. That's the problem.
But it's not even out yet. Now, I'm sure this probably has a lot of you guys asking, how the hell did we reach a point where we have millions of people that are willing to buy a game that they haven't even seen yet? And, you know, honestly, as much as I hate pre-orders and fundamentally just do not see the point in them anymore, I think that this response actually makes perfect sense. You know, I've thrown around a lot of numbers before. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been one of the top 20 or top 10 best-selling games almost every single year, making it the best-selling game of the last decade. GTA Online makes like $4 million every single week just on PlayStation alone. The franchise is on track to be basically one of the most purchased games in existence. But the picture that I've always tried to paint is that regardless of whatever your personal feelings are, Grand Theft Auto just seems to exist outside of the rest of the industry. It just doesn't behave like its competition. It reaches people who don't even play games, where GTA might actually be the only game that they buy. So when you have a franchise that is this dominant financially and culturally, and then you make people wait 13 years for the next one, the pressure that builds behind that is absurd. Some kids have literally been waiting their entire lives for this game. People who played Grand Theft Auto 5 when it launched have graduated, built careers, had kids of their own. But I think a huge part of what has made this anticipation so extreme at this point is what the games industry has looked like during the wait. Grand Theft Auto 5 had released when, honestly, you could argue is one of gaming's strongest eras. Prices were competitive, the games themselves were really strong. You had Mass Effect 3, Borderlands 2, Black Ops 2, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, BioShock Infinite, Battlefield 4. Nearly every single major studio was firing on all cylinders. But since then, man, the last decade has been really rough for AAA. We have seen a serious decline in quality and originality. Prices have gone up. The industry has become obsessed with
a decline in originality. What originality? I would argue there's none whatsoever left. Now watch Classic Plus being the same kind of benefit with an extra subscription, just like GTA Plus. Okay, I do see those links. I will take a look at them after this video.
Live service. Hardware has increasingly gotten out of reach, and a lot of these studios that left a lot of those really good games behind are now just shadows of themselves, and they're just barely even holding together. AAA has lost a lot of ground to Indie and AA because, frankly, man, their games just aren't very good anymore. And that's changed how people look at new releases. I mean, a lot of us, including myself, just don't really look forward to a lot of these new AAA games. We don't think about how great it's going to be. We just start wondering about what's going to be wrong with them. The AAA industry has become so weak over the years, and I think a lot of people are just starving for a real gaming event, one of those monoculture moments where everybody is playing the same thing, talking about the same thing, and actually excited at the exact same time. And for a lot of people, Grand Theft Auto 6 has become the light at the end of the tunnel. And It makes a lot of sense to me that so many people would be ready and willing and waiting to just blindly hand over money to it because they're desperate for it. They need it. They dream of it. And that dreaming has pushed this game into some really weird territory because after 13 years, people have built up such a clear idea of what Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to be, what they need it to be, that Rockstar barely even has to convince them anymore. They've imagined how big it's going to be, how much better it's going to be than everything else, and somewhere along the way, that expectation is suddenly now turned into their certainty. People aren't approaching Grand Theft Auto 6 like it's a game that needs to actually sell itself to them. They've already decided that they're going to play it. A lot of people have already decided it's going to be incredible, and millions of people have already handed over $80 to $100 without ever even seeing a single frame of actual gameplay. At some point, the version of Grand Theft Auto 6 that people have spent the last 13 years building up in their heads has just been doing half of Rockstar's marketing for them. And what I find really funny is that almost perfectly on cue over the past few days, Grand Theft Auto 6 has been leaking everywhere. And I don't think there is a better or anything better that demonstrates just how much people have built this game up in their heads. I mean, every single tiny clip has been...
Yeah, people are desperate for this. People are massively desperate for this. They're like... Rockstar needs to do zero advertising and still win. This game could come out and be a burning pile of dog shit, and they'll still make an infinite amount of money off of it.
Turning into an event. People are dissecting the physics, animations, the mechanics. They're arguing over whether or not it looks incredible or whether or not it looks too much like Grand Theft Auto 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2 because they are so invested in this game that even a few seconds of shitty leaked footage becomes something worth fighting over. And I also find all of this hilarious, like especially hilarious, because one of the arguments a lot of people are making about GTA 6 not having a physical edition was that it was going to somehow protect Rockstar from leaks. And well, you know, here we are, and the game's leaking anyway, and you guys still can't buy it physically. But I actually think the reaction to those leaks is more important than the leaks themselves, because none of this has slowed this thing down. Nobody seems to care about any of it. If anything, it's actually reinforcing a lot of people's...
Yeah, I think Rockstar's honestly wasting their time going after people. I think the only ones that it's worth them going after is probably the Cyber League guys if they've got a build of the game that they could release for free. I think them going hard on the paint against those guys makes 100% sense from their position as a company. But if you're leaking like video game gameplay or footage and stuff like that, like, I just think that's just free marketing at this point.
Opinions. You have millions of people that have already handed Rockstar their money before ever seeing any gameplay. And normally, with the state of the industry as it is today, with as weak as some of these games have been, you'd think people would be a little bit more cautious. But instead, all this anticipation, the state of AAA, and the influence Grand Theft Auto has built over the years is basically pushing people in the exact opposite direction. And that's what's making this audience so valuable, so malleable. They are just so resilient. Rockstar can show less, they can ask for less, they can ask for more money earlier, and people are still throwing themselves at the game. The normal rules of marketing barely even apply here anymore, and that's why I keep coming back to this idea that Grand Theft Auto 6 feels a lot less like a normal launch and a lot more like an experiment. This audience is basically the best lab rat.
Well, yeah, of course. They've got the opportunity to do that because Rockstar has built up this massive well of goodwill to draw from. People, I mean, Soulman said it himself, right? GTA and Red Dead Redemption, he would just automatically buy it. That makes sense because every single Rockstar game has always been a step above everything else that's around it. They've always built these massively great games that people fall in love with and play ad nauseum. How old is Red Dead Redemption 2 and people are still playing the shit out of it? People are still doing crazy shit in Red Dead Redemption 2. People are still playing GTA 5 online ad nauseum because they can and they will, and Rockstar's making bank off of that, and people still love the gameplay of it. They are in the position where they can experiment and figure out exactly where the line is, probably step over the line a few times, and no one's going to get mad at them.
I remember back in July seeing somebody say that Grand Theft Auto 6's marketing cycle was absolutely horrendous, and I had responded saying that I wouldn't call it marketing, I would call it a social experiment to see how much money people will spend without knowing what they're actually buying. And at the time, I was joking, but man, I think I accidentally hit the nail right on the head, because only a few days after I had said that, Rockstar had announced an extended look at Grand Theft Auto 6 on August 27th, except for the first 6 hours would be exclusive to Netflix. And just think about how weird that is for a second.
For the first 6 hours. So it didn't even matter. You're telling me you can't wait 6 hours. The only ones I can see who would ever buy that subscription, like this is in my universe, in my world, the only people I see doing that is people who want the first 6 hours so that they can make content on it before anyone else. And then the second it's publicly released, they can then just throw it out there and have that ready and be ahead of everyone else before that. I don't know what normal ass human being who has a job, who earns a paycheck, is paying for that.
Second, this is an advertisement for a game that people have already spent hundreds of millions of dollars pre-ordering, and now they're putting early access to that advertisement behind another company's subscription service.
Rockstar spent $2 billion on GTA 6. It's going to make that in a year. I think they'll make it in their first month.
Essentially betting that people are so desperate to see more of Grand Theft Auto 6 that some of them are going to be willing to pay more money just to be advertised to 6 hours earlier than everybody else. That's where, for me, this stops looking like some weird little marketing stunt, because now we're seeing just how valuable the anticipation around Grand Theft Auto 6 has become on its own. They haven't even released this game yet, and they're already finding ways to be able to turn people's desperation into seeing more of it into something that another company is actually willing to pay for. So now we're not just talking about millions of people that are handing Rockstar $80 to $100 without seeing a game anymore. We're talking about Rockstar testing how much value they can extract from the hype around Grand Theft Auto 6 before they even put this thing in your hands. I don't think people will understand how weird this game is. It just doesn't really make any sense. And while I understand that some of you guys are just not interested in it, some of you guys are probably praying that this game is going to fail. Pardon me, kind of.
It's not going to fail. I'm sorry. You're delusional if you think that this game's going to fail. It's not going to fucking fail. This game could be trash and it'll still make them billions of dollars. I'm sorry, that's just not happening. It's never going to fail.
kind of understands that in some cases, but for a minute, it's going to feel like we've been teleported back to the late 2000s, early 2010s, where everybody is playing one game, talking about one game, and it's just going to basically envelop the entire industry and all discussion for quite a while, to be honest with you. This game is just going to become entirely unavoidable. It's going to blot out the sun. It's going to evaporate the seeds. It's going to blow a hole in the side of the games industry, and nobody's going to be able to get around it. This game is going to be so dominant. I mean, look how people are already acting right now. They're so irrational over this game.
But you were allowed to stream Netflix as a creator. Well, then I think you would see the biggest bump from that. But as like a normal human being, I don't see who would, like, let's say you don't watch streamers. Let's say you don't watch YouTube content. You don't watch any of that. But you love GTA 6. What person would not just wait out the 6 hours as opposed to paying for a subscription to Netflix specifically just to watch the GTA 6 trailer? What person would do that? I can't think of someone who would. But maybe I'm retarded. Maybe I'm delusional in this case. Maybe these people are so desperate for it that they would actually pay for that Netflix sub just so they can watch it 6 hours earlier than anyone else.
Nobody's going to be paying attention to anything else. It's already sucking the oxygen out of the room. It's already one of the most highest selling games this year, and it's not even out yet. It's still 3 months out from this point. It's crazy, man. You know, I think what's really weird or uncomfortable about this, and this is probably the one thing that I don't think people have probably taken the time to really think about, is that we just don't see this from AAA anymore. This is how things used to be. These companies used to have this kind of level of trust. We used to see this lack of caution from players all of the time.
I wanted to make a joke next pre-order bonus being able to play 6 hours early, but people actually do that already. Yes. Yeah, that joke doesn't work because, yeah, that's already the case.
They used to all have this kind of reputation, but they lost it over time. And I think now, today, Rockstar might be the only one that still has enough pull to be able to do something like this. The problem is that we're in a different era of the games industry, one that is far darker and more exploitative than it has ever been before, and that trust and goodwill that players are easily and very readily handing over is very easy to manipulate. And that's exactly what these companies are doing. Rockstar and Take-Two fully understand the position that they're in right now. They know that they can get away with damn near anything. And that's the reason why these guys took the opportunity to raise the base price of games to $80. It's why they walled off content that you could see and interact with in the game. It's the reason why they made the game digital only. It's the reason why they are locking the trailer of the game behind a 6-hour paywall on Netflix. All of these things are aligned. They know that they can get away with anything right now, so they're taking advantage of it. They're testing you, and in a lot of cases, it's working. Maybe not all of you, but they're definitely testing a lot of people. Now, I've seen a lot of people that have tried to hand wave and minimize a lot of the actions that Rockstar has taken, mostly because I think that they're just trying to dodge out on any of the consequences from pissing off any Grand Theft Auto fans. I don't really care that much. Like, I'm still going to play the game. I'm still excited or interested in it. I'm still going to criticize everything the company does if I don't like what they do. It's pretty simple. You can do those things. I don't understand why people don't think they have the freedom to. But I've seen a lot of people that have been trying to make others feel embarrassed by saying that the 6-hour Netflix window is not consumer friendly, that it is somehow anti-consumer, or that it's a bad practice. And these people are either covering for the games industry, or they simply just do not understand exactly what the effects are. And they're not even...
People are trying to make others feel embarrassed that this is not consumer friendly. I don't understand his point. I'm assuming what he's trying to say is that there are people who are mocking people for getting the Netflix sub just to watch the trailer. I don't see his point with this one. Expectation and making money or back are two different things, but yeah, GTA will match both easily. Yes. No, I'm sorry, but GTA 6 is going to make so much fucking money that there are probably going to be a fuck ton of GTA 6 clones coming out about 4 or 5 years after GTA 6 launches, and they're all not going to understand why their game isn't working out as good as GTA 6 is.
Even trying to take the time to ask the most obvious question, why would you do any of this at all? And when you start looking at the wider industry and the direction all of them are going in, all at the exact same time, it becomes pretty obvious. They're looking for ways to monetize you in the game and out. I've already seen people arguing back and forth about the Netflix exclusivity deal. Some people are absolutely torching Rockstar for it, adding it to a growing list of anti-consumer practices alongside the $80 price tag, selling the game digital only, or seemingly paywalling some of their content and mechanics behind missions and stuff like that in the Ultimate Edition. For the trailer itself, though, I think it's pretty obvious that this is some kind of...
Wait. They've paywalled. I need to hear that again.
Alongside the $80 price tag, selling the game digital only, or seemingly paywalling some of their content and mechanics behind...
Seemingly paywalling some of their content and mechanics behind the Ultimate Edition. That would be concerning. Unless you pay us extra money, you can't fly the planes. Unless you pay us extra money, you can't swim. GTA Plus and GTA Black Edition. I will wait on GTA 6, but also it just broke and need a GPU. Well, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm just broke as fuck, so yeah. I'll have to wait.
Ultimate Edition. For the trailer itself, though, I think it's pretty obvious that this is some kind of promotional deal. Netflix and Take-Two likely have some larger partnership that's planned around Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption, whether that's a series or a movie or something else, and they're using this reveal to be able to promote it. Now, beyond that, there also has to be some financial benefit. Netflix gets to attach itself to one of the biggest gaming reveals in years and potentially pull in some subscribers because of it, while Rockstar is also undoubtedly going to be pulling in some money of their own because they're giving them some of that exclusivity. And while I think that this whole thing is greasy on the surface, the 6-hour exclusivity itself doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the GPU, Faith. I'm worried about my fucking bank account.
Nearly that much because while it's honestly, yeah, just a 6-hour exclusivity, it's going to be on YouTube soon after that. But what really bothers me is what this could mean going forward. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with the people that are defending it. I've seen some people say that if you want to subscribe to Netflix or watch the trailer early or pre-order the game, you aren't actually contributing to any industry bad practices or the death of physical media. You're just excited about a game that you love. Man, that, guys, is a cope. What are you doing? If you want to find...
I think he's trying to make a bigger point here, right? I think he's trying to make a bigger point. I think his point isn't actually about GTA 6 here. It's about what this means for the rest of the AAA industry and what they may try and get away with in the future, because they saw GTA 6 do it and they were like, we can do that too. But that's like watching Michael Jordan fucking slam dunk in the NBA like day after day after day, and then being someone in the crowd being like, yeah, I could do that too. I think that's the point he's trying to get at here.
Financially support the behavior, then yes, you are contributing to it. There is nothing to defend here. You are getting absolutely no benefit at all while the company is finding another way to monetize your attention before they've even handed you a game or provided you a service. Now, you are completely within your rights to say, I don't care. I want what I want. And I'm actually fine with that. We are selfish and indulgent creatures by nature. We work for our money. And if pre-ordering Grand Theft Auto 6 or watching that trailer 6 hours early makes you happy, then more power to you. But you can't do that and then pretend like that decision has no effect on whatever else these companies are going to try next. Now, with that said,
it's stupid, but May, you're just going to give it a pass for something shitty just because it's GTA. I understand people are quick to judge negatively, but I mean, you're quick to forgive this game. No, I'm not forgiving this game, Max. I'm not forgiving this game. What I'm saying is that GTA has built up enough goodwill that they could fuck people over and get away with it on a broader spectrum of things, right? They have built up. They are in a unique position. Oh, you're talking to Moonstone. Okay. Either way, I'm still going to finish this point. Because they are in that unique position, they are going to be the industry leaders. Because they are the industry leaders, they decide what happens next. And a bunch of shitty AAA game devs who don't know what the fuck they're doing are going to think, oh, we can just do what Rockstar did. And then they set a new precedent for what comes next. And they're going to try and sell you every component of the game without having to sell you the game afterwards.
I am rabidly pro-consumer, and I recognize that people are not sitting around analyzing the games industry or thinking about the long-term consequences of every single purchase that they make. So ultimately, I don't blame the customer for most of this. The burden is on these companies to create fair conditions for their consumers. It's not on the consumers to be the ones that constantly have to protect themselves from the companies that are trying to sell to them. That's why regulation...
I bet GTA 5 becomes less toxic once GTA 6 comes out. No, I think it'll become more toxic. Because more people will move over to GTA 6 and the people left behind will slowly spiral into a more toxic kind of behavior. That'll hyper-focus down on a certain type of person who believes themselves superior because they're going to be playing GTA 5 online as opposed to GTA 6 online when that releases. And so they'll see themselves as naturally superior to the other people around them, and then they'll start becoming elitist.
And consumer advocacy groups.
It's like hipsters with music.
Exist in the first place. That's why you got people that are out there that are suing companies like PlayStation, or you got Stop Killing Games that have organized against, some of these companies and games ownership. That's why those things are out there. Now, I've seen games journalists also weigh in on this topic. Most infamously,
oh god, the fucking rat himself,
Schreier, who had posted a video where he was talking pretty excitedly about the Netflix partnership. But then there was something that he said that I can't let slide, because it either shows how willing these people are to cover for the industry or how little foresight they actually have for where these things go.
I think that anyone who complains that it is like consumer unfriendly or hostile or whatever, like bad practice, anti-consumer, to have a piece of marketing footage available on Netflix for 6 hours before it's on YouTube, I think pick your battles, man, if you're complaining about that one. So there's really very little downside to this.
Well, okay, that shows exactly whose side you're on in this case. It's only 6 hours. If you think it's anti-consumer, you need to pick your battles.
It's 6 hours for now. How long until they start locking features away because they've made a deal with someone like Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever, and they've said you can only access this content in the game if you also verify that you have a subscription to the service that we have a deal with? It's 6 hours of footage for now. It will get worse. You gotta remember, we went from horse armor to every single component of RPG games and live service games being over-monetized to shit. This is the beginning.
It's not a big deal. Those are some famous last words. I think I've heard some version of that argument before almost every terrible industry practice that we have normalized over the past 10 years. Guys, it's just horse armor. It's only $2.50.
There you go.
It's not that big of a deal. Guys, it's just a couple of missions. You don't need to pre-order the game. Nobody needs to buy those. Guys, it's just a couple days of early access. Anybody can wait, right? It's just this one game that's going to end up doing something like that. That's how this stuff always starts out. It always gets introduced as some small form of what it is, so that anybody that objects to it just gets made to look unreasonable in a lot of cases. The issue that I have is not with the 6 hours, because everybody's right. It is negligible. It's not that big of a deal. And honestly,
yeah, it's not that big of a deal. For now.
I don't even think this specific practice is going to be able to spread across the entire industry. I mean, think about any other company or any other game that could actually pull something like this off. I don't really think there is one. Rockstar can only do it because Grand Theft Auto is Grand Theft Auto. So the problem isn't the action itself, it's the motivation behind it. This is a company that is looking for every possible way to monetize its audience outside of the traditional sale, to the point that they have found a way to be able to turn fan anticipation, your hype, into value for a third-party subscription service. The takeaway here isn't Netflix. It's that this industry is clearly looking beyond its current monetization models and searching for new ways to be able to make money, both inside the game and outside of the game themselves. Well, since the media wants to run cover for this and some of these guys seemingly lack the overall awareness, why don't we just zoom out for a second? Because the Netflix...
Yeah, I'll tell you why he's doing that. Right. Jason Schreier. Everything I've seen of Jason Schreier proves that he's a 15-minute human being. Right. He's incapable of looking at things in a wider context outside of the specific situation because he just doesn't have the capacity mentally to do that. That's why he's so viciously defending it. That's why he's the guy who's saying, pick your battles, ha ha ha, this is so funny that people are getting mad over this. Because he's not looking at the broader spectrum or the larger continuum that this fits within. He's a 15-minute human being. Right? He can see 15 minutes into the future and no further than that. And this is how the slow slide down the slope happens. Honestly, I'd rather gamble 50 Rand a month online than play a game that is designed to keep content from me after spending almost 1K or almost $80. I agree. Honestly, you'd probably be better off. You'd have a better chance of winning something back if you gambled 50 Rand a month doing that. It's advanced access all over again, just pushing the limits of anti-consumer practices further. It's interesting that they've done this to me, because currently it doesn't look anti-consumer because it's just 6 hours. But give it a year, give it 2 years, and it will become anti-consumer as they push more and more shit down your throat to try and force you to pay for things or pay for the same thing over and over again.
Exclusivity is just one piece of the puzzle, so why don't we put a couple more on the board? Just this summer, EA announced EA Advertising, a way to put ads directly into your gameplay. PlayStation is preparing to scale up their advertising. Xbox is testing ad-supported game stream.
Welcome to the future. Hey, you remember that one South Park episode where where the ads take over everything? It's coming for your video games.
Sony just killed physical disc production and is pushing further into digital games. And just a couple weeks ago, Strauss Zelnick predicted that within 3 years, we'll all be streaming our games, while also saying this when he was asked whether video games could push deeper into mass culture. Undoubtedly, I think we are scratching the surface both in terms of the size of the audience and the monetization of that audience.
Yep.
Guys, look around the games industry and you see a bunch of executives and shareholders that are desperate to find more money, selling you the game just isn't enough anymore. Merchandising isn't enough anymore. DLC isn't enough. Subscriptions aren't enough. Microtransactions aren't enough. Live service isn't enough. They have to keep growing, keep breaking records, keep shareholders happy, keep those investments coming in. So they have to keep digging for somewhere else to be able to make more money. And while I think we've watched a lot of these companies start to extend themselves into Hollywood over the past couple of years with movies and television shows, that relationship is starting to flow in the other direction. They are not just turning games into entertainment franchises anymore. They're starting to bring Hollywood's advertising, partnerships, streaming, and monetization strategies back into the games themselves. And if you guys think that I'm exaggerating when I'm telling you that these guys are saying that selling the game just isn't enough anymore, look at Take-Two's own numbers. Last year, they generated roughly around $6.7 billion in revenue, believing that's going to grow to $8 billion this year. But only about $1.4 billion came from a full game and other game sales. Roughly $5.2 billion, almost 80% of everything that they made, came from recurrent consumer spending. Microtransactions, virtual currency, mobile spending, all the shit that happens after you guys have already gotten in the door.
Yep.
Just think about that for a second. Take-Two is one of the largest video...
Yeah, that's unsurprising because it's beneficial for a game to over monetize the shit out of the game to get monthly recurring revenue, MRR, as opposed to focusing on a sale price and a lump sum payment that you're going to get from certain people over time that's inevitably going to fall off. Of course they're going to do that. And you can kind of mind trick anyone playing the games into buying shit on a monthly basis because it feels less bad to them because they're already investing in something that they like.
Game publishers on Earth.
Did you check the link? I'm going to check it after this video, Faith.
And the act of actually selling a video game only represents like a fraction of the money that these guys are bringing in. The overwhelming majority is coming from different ways that they're being able to find to continually monetize people that are already playing their games. And GTA is just one of the best examples why. Grand Theft Auto Online is still reportedly bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars every single year, more than a decade after Grand Theft Auto 5 released. They sold you a game once and then spent the next 13 years figuring out more ways to keep making money off that same audience that stayed there. So when Strauss Zelnick is talking about how they feel like they've only scratched the surface when it comes to how they're monetizing the gaming industry.
Yeah, it's going to get worse.
Or how they're monetizing the gaming audience, I think you should listen to him. This isn't some hypothetical future where these publishers are suddenly now just deciding that they want to find more revenue streams. That business model already exists. They've been pushing it for years. What they're looking for now is wherever else they can extend that to. And that's where Grand Theft Auto 6 has become so important in this conversation because, well, there might not be any other product in the entire industry that is better suited for these guys to be able to find out and test with. Think back to everything that we've already talked about. Millions of people have already bought this game without even seeing gameplay. Nearly 90% of those people reportedly bought the most expensive version of the game. People are defending a 6-hour Netflix exclusivity for an advertisement. That audience has spent 13 years building this thing up into something that they believe that they needed. You could not design a better market test if you tried. What I think a lot of people are missing here is that Rockstar can attempt things with Grand Theft Auto 6 that most people could just never do. I mean, every other publisher would get laughed out of the room for a lot of this stuff. Imagine if Ubisoft tried announcing that you need a Netflix subscription to watch their next trailer for Assassin's Creed. Nobody would...
Well, yeah, but that's because they've burned all their goodwill to the ground, but they're still going to try it. They're still going to try it. It's nothing. Look, I'll decide that when I look at it. The part that's scary to me is the only way to save a game industry is for people to walk away. Once they lose enough players, they will consider changing. Gamers are not known for walking away. It's never going to happen. And my prediction is that it's going to get worse, Spider. Because if you think about old fucking dinosaurs like me, I grew up in a time when it was buy the game, play the game. The generation underneath me is effectively, they've grown up mentally conditioned to the idea of subscriptions being completely normal. Completely fucking normal. So to them, this is just going to be a standard par for the course kind of thing. And then what happens for the generation after that? It's not just normal, it's almost considered obligation to spend more money on the game than the initial purchase price. You say that, but remember Asher Schwarmer revealed when she took over every game, including AAA ones from Xbox umbrella, was making nothing but losses and coasting entirely off of Minecraft success. Yeah. But do you think that if they're making losses and they see a new opportunity to monetize, that they're not going to take that opportunity? You just gave me the perfect reason as to why they would over-monetize things in the future. We're not making enough money. We found this new way to monetize our video games before we even release them. So we're going to make enough money by fucking over people later. Oh, now and later. Gamers did walk away. Microsoft has just been pretending otherwise. Expect the same from their competitors. It's going to go one of two ways, right? Microsoft doesn't exactly have that great of a track record when it comes to video games. Every successful video game that Microsoft owns is probably one, barring maybe fucking Minesweeper. It's been something that they've bought from somewhere else and then tried to make money off of it. I don't see Microsoft as being a good key indicator of the way things work because they're kind of dumbasses and they keep on fucking things up. I don't think this stops. I think this gets worse. And it's going to end up in one of two ways. They're going to crash and burn as people go, I've got too much shit to pay for. I've got too little money in my bank account. I'm not doing this. And they do end up, they don't walk away. They're dragged away financially. Or there's enough people that they can get a hold of who are just going to keep on paying for this shit that they can just keep on bumping up the price. They can just find a new way to monetize that same audience, right? It's like, how do I put this? When you run out of resources to mine, the idea, like when you've got the same resource output that you can keep on extracting wealth from, or you can keep extracting some kind of resource from. If you cannot find or get more of that resource from, what you do is you take your existing resource and you optimize its efficiency so that you can extract more out of the same amount, right? Like if you want a good example, you can look at bauxite mining and aluminium in the past, right? Aluminium at one point in time was a limited resource because it was just impossible to get enough aluminium together to build anything. At some point, it was more expensive than gold. Then I think it was Hall. Hall came along and he made a new process that was hyper efficient, and all of a sudden aluminium became an abundant resource because all of a sudden you could take the same amount of aluminium that you mined out of the ground and just crank out way more output out of it. So if you can't get a bigger audience, what you need to do is you need to more efficiently mine your audience. Yes, it's aluminium. It's not aluminum. Goddamn Americans. if you're going to promote an AI enthusiast into a director position, she could have at least been pretty. No, you can't have a pretty woman up there. She'd get fucking ripped apart by all the other ugly bitches in the office. I thought Asher was nothing but AI bullshit before she came to Microsoft. Doesn't matter what she was. Maybe she went into ChatGPT and that told her who to fire. I don't care. I just hope all of these people get kicked out of the fucking games industry. It burns to the ground and we can start over. But I'm also not delusional enough to believe that that's actually going to happen. At least not to the level it needs to happen.
Would give a shit. Imagine if EA tried asking millions of people to pre-order some new IP for $100 and they don't even show them how it plays. They'd get crucified for it. GTA is different. It's living outside of the industry. It's living outside of reality in a lot of cases, or at least outside of normalcy. And that's what makes this game dangerous, what makes their actions dangerous, at least for us as consumers. And people need to be paying attention to this, because not every single one of these publishers is going to be trying to come out and get their own Netflix trailer for their game tomorrow, because they can't. They don't have the audience for that. What Grand Theft Auto can do instead is it could show these guys how much of the relationship around a game can be turned into something of value. And once these companies start realizing that there's another part of the relationship that can start making money, they're not just going to forget about it. They're going to go all in. Rockstar is a trendsetter, and these guys have been setting trends for years, and the trends that they're setting now are things that people are not going to like. That is why I keep calling this game an experiment. Grand Theft Auto 6 is not testing whether or not you're going to pay $80 for a game. They already know you will. That's old news at this point. It's testing how much value can be extracted from the audience before, during, and long after the sale.
Yeah, this is the test phase.
I still expect this game to be massive, and weirdly enough, I still expect the game itself to be pretty good. I am holding out hope that at least one of these AAA companies can still deliver at this point. But, you know, none of what I'm saying means I want Grand Theft Auto 6 to fail. Though I will say that if it did, it would be very interesting, because
it's never going to happen.
Collapse the entire industry. I don't think people realize how much is riding on this thing. They need it to succeed. A lot of people need this game to succeed, but I hate the actions of the publisher and how much that publisher has influence over the rest of the industry. When these guys jump, the rest of the industry jumps with them. And with the way that they're talking, with the things that a lot of these other companies are doing right now, I do not like the direction that these guys are jumping in right now. And I think that it's fair that you can criticize these, like the actions that these companies are taking, the direction that they're trying to take the games industry in, but still be excited for games that come out. I do try my very best to be able to separate the actions of the publisher from the developers, because they don't necessarily have the exact same priorities in a lot of cases. Now, with that said, I don't like any of this. I really don't. I don't like the direction that a lot of things are headed right now. Ads are coming to games. It's over, man. Like,
yeah, you see, his legendary drops is seeing smoke before he's seeing fire. The fire's there. You just haven't seen it yet.
I'm not going to say it's over, because I think largely people are going to reject it in mass, and it's going to be really hard for these guys to be able to push it through. And also, to our benefit, Steam does have ads that are like off-platform ads banned inside of their game, so you can't be advertising McDonald's or something like that inside of your video games on Steam. But at the same time, seeing as a lot of these companies are trying to push more into game streaming off of their platforms, they're trying to...
Who's Asha? She's the Microsoft CEO for the gaming component, who's firing a bunch of people because they fucking suck at their job.
Go back to console exclusivity in a lot of cases, looking at PlayStation and even Xbox's danced with the idea. That does make me really worried for a lot of the console space. And I think that's really where these guys are going to try to push it, because the console demographic of people tend to not have as much disposable income as the PC people. And as such, they're going to be a little bit more resilient to...
No, I think the PC people are kind of fucked as well. RAM prices, GPU prices, hard drives are now going through the fucking roof as well. I don't think there's as much money there for PC people as well.
The things that they're going to try on them. I don't like how that works. For the Netflix part, I don't know what they're cooking up. I really don't. You know, when I first heard the announcement, the first thing that came to mind wasn't even a TV show. I thought that they were probably just going to do some type of integration of Netflix into Grand Theft Auto 6. That was the first thing that made the most sense to me, because I was like, man, they already have TVs in the game. You can already watch stuff on the TV in the game. Why wouldn't they go ahead and make it where you could have your streaming service inside of the game? I mean, Grand Theft Auto for a lot of people is
that would kind of make sense. That would actually make sense.
Already like a Second Life sim. So I could easily see people doing something like that.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's genius. You take Netflix, you put it inside of GTA 6 so that people can watch Netflix while they're playing GTA 6. But if you don't have the Netflix sub, when you try and watch the TV, it's just static. And then the NPC character that's next to you just starts shitting on you for not having a Netflix subscription and makes you feel bad about yourself for being such a little bitch without a Netflix subscription. So you subscribe to Netflix so the TV works and she stops bitching at you. And you could probably get away with that on Steam because technically it's not an ad. It's part of the gameplay.
And bam, you got easy access into advertisers inside of your game. And also on top of that, you're going to make some type of like partner revenue on the side. And now that I think about it, platform integration is probably the next step that a lot of these companies are going to take.
Yeah.
It's just something that makes a lot of sense. If you have players that are inside of a game and they're already using it, like one of the things, I don't know how to, this is probably a topic for a completely different video, so I'm not going to go into it too deep here, but the thing is that when you look at how the attention economy is working right now, a lot of these companies are desperately trying to keep people on their platform. So if they can figure out ways to have people on their platform while they're on somebody else's, that's one way for them to try to make money. And I can see that happening, whether it's social media, whether...
I mean, people do this already, kind of. They'll like open up Netflix or they'll open up some streaming service and they'll have that on their second monitor while they're playing a video game. So why not add them together? Netflix could be coming to Elder Scrolls 6. Todd will explain it as interdimensional magic. Oh, yeah. No, he'll find a way. It just works.
Streaming services. I can see that coming in. I'll have to cook on that one maybe a little bit. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy the video? If you did like the video, like the channel, or like the video, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, decent video, decent. Okay. You're telling me not to open this link on stream. And that immediately makes me want to open this link on stream. So I'm going to just do this just in case, so the site doesn't get nuked. Just to make sure we're going to be okay. What is the Cinegram? Oh, okay, these are just shows you can watch. And then what is GTA Plus? This I should be able to open on stream. Okay, membership for GTA Online players. Join to claim special GTA Online benefits, access to a selection of Rockstar Games titles, and much more. All part of the best way to get most out of your GTA Online experience. Member benefits. Display an intimidating presence in the new... Okay, so this is them selling a skin for a vehicle. Okay, free to claim from the Vinewood Car Club showroom for all GTA Plus members. Okay, that's just flex on people without money. Vinewood Club, one-of-a-kind establishment. Okay, so you get cars. Basically, you get cars. And these cars have an in-game price. So that's basically what they're selling to you with GTA Plus. They basically do events for certain kinds of skins and certain like pieces of gear and shit, and you also get this in your library. So it's bonus stuff. It's not so it's a subscription, so you get like monthly bonus stuff, and that's actually kind of genius from a money perspective, because people are less likely to cancel a subscription than they are to make a once-off purchase and then purchase nothing else. Yeah, GTA is ahead of the curve. Expect this to happen to a lot of the game companies that don't have the same like goodwill that Rockstar has built up over time. So it's Shark Cards Plus. Yes, it's basically Shark Cards Plus. And it's really actually, this is actually fucking genius from an evil money perspective, because like people don't cancel subs. People like will not watch Netflix for like 4 months and not cancel the sub. People who played World of Warcraft would drop the game for 4 months, but they might play it at some point in time when they have like a little bit of free time, so they're not going to cancel their subs, so they've paid for 4 months of subs. This is coming. This is coming for every other video game out there. It's just these guys are ahead of everyone else right now. These guys are monetizing in very aggressive ways that we're going to see the shittiest versions of come from other game companies. We're going to have build a game monetization soon. You have to buy all the individual assets. Yes, you're going to buy the maps. You're going to buy the skins. Your character's going to be in a wheelchair unless you pay for the subscription. You're going to have abilities locked away behind a wall. You're going to get advertised to. You know what's coming as well? I can see it coming. They're going to put really fucking annoying ads in the game. And then they're going to tell you you can remove the ads if you pay us a subscription service fee. Because that already happens with mobile games. Hoyo GTA verse waifu. Yeah, that's coming. That's coming. My grandma was dying of cancer for over a year and couldn't get out of bed. 3 months after she died, I realized she was still paying for cable TV. Yes. Yes. That's gonna happen. Your grandma, you were lucky you only got 3 months of cable TV that she was charged for. This is gonna be a problem everywhere. Honestly, gaming might be dead. Like, give it like 3 years. AAA gaming is gonna be fucking dead. No one's gonna want to touch any of this shit. Rockstar will get away with it because their games have always been exceptional. But all these AAA gaming companies are gonna waste all their resources on putting this kind of subscription shit into your video games. And then not make a good game. The next Assassin's Creed, probably gonna have this shit in it. The next NBA 2K, gonna have this shit in it. Call of Duty, absolutely. It was over $200 a month I fought to get the last 3 months refunded. You should have told him. You should have told him to fuck off. Right? I doubt you're gonna get it refunded. Even if you did, well then congratulations. The system's not as bad or as cynical as I thought it was. But yeah, Jesus. What's the name of that anime GTA game the Chinese brought out? Anata. Yes, that one. Sounds like they have a golden opportunity to advertise when people fall out of love with GTA 6. Yes, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Aren't they on mobile as well with that game? Yeah, this is gonna go bad. This is gonna go real fucking bad real fucking quickly. I never saw a dime of it, but they finally canceled the subscription. Yeah, you're not getting that money back. That money's never coming back. Jesus. Yeah, this is a dark future we're heading towards here. This is a real rough future. Now let's check if there's any other takes on GTA 6. Or whether it's just people losing their shit over the trailer. Let's see, 100 hidden details. Gameplay details we found. Gameplay trailer. GTA 6. My thoughts on GTA 6 gameplay reveal. Let's see what Mr. Milquetoast himself has to say.
Alright, the GTA 6 trailer came out, I watched it, streamed it all live, and I was puking out...
Did you pay for Netflix?
...thoughts as they popped into my noodle during the stream, but now, just want to debrief here while I've had a little bit of time to stew and marinate on it and rewatch it again. I want to give you thoughts that are a little more composed and structured.
Okay.
And an expression to immediately let you know my overall feelings on the trailer. I liked it. Now, that being said, I don't think it was a perfect...
I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but that's mostly because of the writing. The gameplay, fine. Graphics, fine. The way everything else worked mechanically looked perfectly fine to me. The writing felt like dog shit.
Trailer, there were a few things they showed I wasn't crazy about, but overall my feelings are extremely positive and I'm very hyped for GTA 6. And I know I've mentioned this a few times, but I just think it's pertinent. I have been replaying every GTA game ever made.
Anyone know what the fuck happened to his head? No, he recently got his hair back, so he had to tape it down.
I have just finished Ballad of Gay Tony, and I played everything up till then, so now I have Chinatown Wars and then GTA 5, and then I'm fully finished with the full replay. So, I was even more excited for the GTA 6 trailer since I've been playing so much GTA over the last month and a half. I've been salivating. And I think it delivered for the most part. I will say I didn't love the structure of it, where it was a bunch of, like, almost non-sequiturs of a bunch...
Yeah, I fucking hated the structure of it. I despised the structure of it. The unmemorable voice lines, the way that the music clashed with what the visuals were. The fucking pacing of it felt off. I fucking hated those components of it. I feel like that was a loss by them, but it doesn't matter what I think because I'm just a grumpy old retard and people are going to be in love with the shit. People seem to be soy-facing way too hard for what I'd imagine. I've got a feeling shenanigans are foot takes being curated hard. You know, okay, so I've got a conspiracy theory, and this is... I'm pulling this one straight out of my asshole. What if they know that the game they've been working on for the last 13 years is going to be shitty, is going to be trash, so they're trying to monetize the fuck out of it now so they can make their money back before they release it, sales drop through the floor, but it doesn't matter because they've got everyone's pre-order money.
Bunch of gameplay, just bits and pieces, little morsels, little bite-sized hors d'oeuvres of here's gameplay, and then here's little bits and pieces of story, and then like here's chases, that kind of thing. It was just basically a full-blown montage that they were spitting out, which was cool because it kept the pacing fast and you get to see a lot of things.
I didn't think the pacing was fast. I felt like it dragged out. That felt exhausting to watch.
So like it's very clear to see there's a lot of side content. It's very rich in side content, which is very cool. And a lot of the side content looks really hype, especially one that tickles me directly, backyard wrestling. That seems to be like a nice fun little activity you can do there, and I fucking love backyard wrestling, so that's super cool. Then of course they had like some racing and all that. They showed quite a lot when it came to like other activities outside of main missions, which was nice. Personally, I would have just liked to see a little more structure to it to connect the stuff, like when it came to the story beats they were showing. I understand why they wouldn't, because they wanted to give you a lot to kind of, sit and spin on crazy style, bounce on it, which is fine. It's not like an actual serious complaint of mine or anything. I think the visuals look spectacular, which I think everyone was expecting them to, but I was still pretty blown away by just how good everything in the trailer.
Yeah, the graphics were great. The graphics were exceptional. Like, it is insane. But aside from graphics, what mind-blowing thing did we see? What thing, like, what component of that GTA gameplay trailer reveal was essentially something that blew people out of the fucking water? I can't think of anything. Also, the console stores don't have a 2-hour refunds, no question policy that Steam does. Yes.
It looks like they have made some big improvements to the gunplay as well as the little brief moments that they showed of like the actual hand-to-hand combat. It looks like they have done like an overhaul on melee there. Like in the moment, I thought it looked like kind of free-flow combat.
Lucius Cake. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Adjacent, like some Arkham City shit. Not quite. I went back and rewatched it. Doesn't seem like it's that kind of combat, but it is a little bit deeper and more fleshed out than most GTA hand-to-hand combat, at least based on the little bit they showed there, which is cool. Overall, it does seem like they have improved on the Rockstar gunplay formula, which is one of the main things I was hoping to see here. Unfortunately, I kind of deluded myself. I sipped a little too much hopium because I also replayed the entire Max Payne franchise, and Rockstar made Max Payne 3, and I think that is some of the best gunplay in a single-player story game, full stop. I love Max Payne 3's gunplay. And
never played it.
And it's a formula that Rockstar hasn't revisited since. They created this amazing foundation for gunplay and has never really gone back to it. They kind of integrated a little bit into like 5 and even a little like bits and pieces into Red Dead 2, but never quite like the full meat and potatoes that Max Payne 3's gunplay delivered. So for 6, for some reason I got it in my noodle after replaying 3 that maybe they'll try and like draw from that and like iterate there. Not really, but that's just on me for building that possibility up when it was probably something that was never on the table. What they showed in the trailer for the gunplay I thought looked solid. It was fluid, it was fast, and I really do like...
I don't know if it was fast, but it did look decent enough. Right, I can't like shit on the gunplay of it and stuff like that. It looked decent enough. My concern is not about its mechanical ability. My concern about is that like whether it feels like molasses, like it's molasses kind of gunplay, or whether it ends up being far more like fluid, whether it just kind of matches with the fluidity of older games in the GTA series.
that it seems that they've gone more in the GTA 4 physics when it comes to like the combat here. The ragdoll in response to where they're getting shot really reminds me much more of GTA 4, and it feels really satisfying to watch, and I'm excited to play that there. Now, GTA 4 had some very interesting physics when it came to its driving, which I actually liked. Like, yes, it was a source of frustration pretty often because some cars handled like a fucking paper bag being blown by a strong gust of wind, and it was just chaotic, and there was nothing you could do on that fucking bucking Bronco. It had a mind of its own, but that just kind of led to a layer of like skill expression when it came to the driving. It was pretty cool, and it made everything feel really intense in the story, and like if you're trying to escape the cops, because the driving was like a whole new beast. GTA 5's driving physics went away from that, which I think a lot of people appreciated, and in GTA 6 footage they've showed here with the driving, it seems like it went more off GTA 5 than 4. It seems like it went more for like some strong traction that you're able to control and make sharper turns on easier without...
Rosa, believe it or not, you've made more exercise than me. What do you think is an okay amount of weight to lift with one hand to do curls? I don't have dumbbells, just a big bottle to make heavy. Depends what you're going for, Bestia. Are you going for strength or are you going for larger muscle size? Because that's going to depend on what you do, right? If you're trying to get a better mind-muscle connection, like neurologically, so that you've got like consistent strength, then what you want to do is make sure you got a solid handle in that bottle. If it's a 5-liter bottle, that's fine, because 5 liters equals 5 kilograms, and then you just do reps throughout the day consistently over time. If you're looking for like higher muscularity and stuff, then you're going to have to push for a harder weight, or you're going to have to find a way to balance water bottles against a bar so that you can lift heavier. Like for me, like an average weight I'll lift at any given point in time or do curls with is 20 kilograms. Right, I'm fairly comfortable with doing 20 kilograms. That's okay with my arms. But like what I'll do is I'll do that throughout the day, as opposed to doing it like beating the fucking lead out and like doing 50 reps all at once. I'll do like, I don't know, 4 sets of 10 or 4 sets of 8 depending on the day. And I'll do it throughout the day whenever I've got a break. So it's a lot easier to do it that way. It really also, it very much depends on what your strength levels are and where you're sitting. Whether you are someone who's been active your whole life and have been detrained, or whether you're also a person who's spent most of your life not lifting heavy weights and you're starting as a beginner. That, like, there's this big gym culture thing that I really fucking hate, where people get shit on for how much weight they can lift, when it's really like, if you're lifting something, right? If you're lifting anything, you're doing better than lifting nothing. So if you took like a, I don't know, like a 5 kilogram weight, and you're comfortable with that, and you can comfortably do that set, then you should bump it up by like 1 kilogram and see how much strain that gives you. Because what you're looking for is a mild amount of strain, because you don't want to fuck up your joints, you don't want to fuck up your ligaments, right? And you don't want to push hard. And one of the things a lot of people fuck up is they push really, really fucking hard, like once every week, and then they do nothing because they're too busy recovering. Like, what you want to do is you want to do consistency, right? You lifting, let's say your baseline is 5 kilograms, and that's when you start to feel the strain. You will be better off doing like 1 set of 10 every single day and feeling minimal strain on yourself than you are lifting, I don't know, like 30 kilogram dumbbells like for 5 reps, and then you're fucking done.
Needing to basically plan your break a mile in advance. But this extended look here, it seems to lean more on 5 and how 5ing's driving was handled. Now, speaking of driving, the chases they showed here I think were the most hype moments, where you have Jason leaning out and just popping tires on cop cars and watching him fly and go ballistic, hitting the helicopter, and like the level of detail and the responsiveness there was incredible. Like, just an immaculate amount was crammed into this extended look that I appreciate that they did. Because seeing things like that is obviously extremely hype, and it makes me excited to dig my teeth in to get to those points in the story. I think it looked really, really cool there. Now, speaking of the driving, one thing they showed that I didn't like at all, sorry to say, sports fans, I hated the GPS. The new map there, I thought looked like shit.
I thought it looked okay.
I'm really fingers crossed hoping that that's a toggle and I can go for a more classic GTA GPS experience there, because I did not like where it feels like I'm looking at the map through a microscope, like I got fucking binoculars on it there. Like it's so zoomed in and tight on the map, and they have like the buildings being like, you know, stretched out. I really didn't like the look of that GPS at all, which is kind of a nitpicky complaint, but you're going to be spending a lot of time driving, obviously. So you're going to see it like a lot. Like it's still like somewhat important, I think. So I really didn't love that change there. I'm sure it's something I'll get used to in the game, but that was one of my big complaints. The only other like complaint that I had was Jason. The Jason just seems really bland. He reminds me of...
Yes. Thank you, God. He's NPC tier.
Fucking Claude Speed.
Also, here, you know what? I'll show you the weights I lift, right? These are the weights I lift comfortably. Let me just get them. Right, so, okay, I got my 20 kilograms downstairs, right? But these I lift very comfortably. These are my lazy day weights that I've got. Where's the button? No, not that one. No. Where's it? It's this one. So these are the weights I lift, like, on my lazy days, right? When I'm just not feeling it and I'm just not into it. These are 15 kilograms, right? So I can do reps with this very fucking easily. This is, like, below baseline for me. So on, like, a really shitty day, I'd lift like this.
Listen, Chud. The day I take fitness advice from somebody who can't organize a gaming sesh is the day that pigs fly.
Listen here, Banks, you motherfucker. Okay, lifting weights is easy. You know what's not easy? Is living in a goddamn fucking country where everything keeps falling apart. Let me put that out the way. If I could live in a fucking country where my internet didn't cut out every fucking day, it would be so much easier to stream. Okay, if I didn't live in a country where my fucking internet cut out and then my PC crashes and then I've got to fucking fix all that shit, I would stream every fucking day. Post physique? No, I'm fat. You can already tell I'm fat. It's terrible. It's miserable. I used to be able to lift a lot heavier than that very comfortably, but now I'm just a lazy old man.
In this whole showcase, he didn't even exhibit an inkling of personality, not even like a tiny little tiddlywink of personality cracked through his rough exterior here. He's just like this brooding shell. And people in chat were letting me know, like, oh yeah, it's, you know, because he's ex-military and stuff, but that's not really
You gonna open an OnlyFans to fund your move to the US? No, because no one wants to see my asshole. No one's paying the price of a McDonald's burger to see that shit.
strong cope, because GTA protagonists have had ex-military protags that are great. Vic, Vice City Stories, fucking Nico, GTA 4. Like,
yeah.
That you can still have a serious background in a serious game like GTA 4, but have your protagonist have a lot of personality. Nico is my favorite protagonist in the series. He is sarcastic, a lot of humor does come from him, but he delivers very serious moments too. He can be very strong and intimidating and serious. But Jason, all we see here is that. We don't see anything else, so he just feels kind of flat and a little bland. But this is just the first look here, so it's the first time we're ever really seeing him. And the whole trailer's tone was serious. There was almost no humor in it at all, which I didn't love. I would have liked if they showed some of the comedy here, because that's such a huge part of the franchise, the comedic bits. I would have liked to see some of that shine. The only comedy that they interjected here was through, like, the cringe influencer being cringe in the trunk doing the challenge, that kind of
I don't even know if that could be considered comedy, to be honest.
Thing, which is fine. I didn't have a problem with that at all. But that being the only source of comedy and not really seeing any personality from Jason, I think we saw a little bit more from Lucia than we did Jason, but not seeing that kind of ooze through here was a little disappointing, albeit not a huge complaint, because again, this is the first time we're taking a look there. But Jason just comes across as really boring, is the point I'm making, and that's walking away from the trailer, something that I was a little let down by. I just can't imagine that he's going to stay this monotone in the full game, because like in the trailer, he's more monotone than I am. And I really just don't think that they would go that direction for him here, because that's not super fun, especially in GTA, where so many of the protagonists are amazing, like so incredibly full of life and soul.
Yes. Oh my god. Every single protagonist, even GTA 5. The protagonists were way fucking better than what we saw there.
Of course, excluding like Claude Speed in GTA 1 and 2. So like, I really don't think that he's going to come across this way in the full game. It's just, since this trailer was mainly wanting to show like a bunch of different things in the game and activities and such, which pushed the characters a little more into like the background of letting them...
Some people want out there pay to see Nikocado Avocado. Yeah, but there's a difference. You post your asshole online once. Everyone will see that shit forever. Right? For $2, one person can make sure to spread that shit everywhere. I have a kid. I do not need my kid being bullied at school because their dad's asshole is on the internet. A lot of you are not going to know this name. A lot of you are not going to know this lolcow. He's before your time. Once upon a time, there was a guy called the Amazing Atheist. Right? I don't know what the fuck the guy's doing now. This guy pushed atheism as hard as fucking possible online. Right, he made all these like really fucking crazy screamy videos and stuff. One day he shoved a banana up his ass. The internet never forgot. There you go. You see, he's not the Amazing Atheist. He's not TJ Cook. I'm assuming that's his name. He's not any of that. He's the Banana Man now. Everything he's done does not matter. He jammed a banana up his asshole, and that's all he is now.
Shine with their personalities, which, again, this is the first trailer, I get that. Like, the first gameplay trailer, I get that. So it's not, like, the biggest deal in the world. I'm excited to see more. I just hope Jason isn't actually this flat in the actual game. I'd really like to see more there. Now, there are some things that have been coming out post GTA 6 extended look about more of the mechanics, such as, like, the optional romancing, which is...
I knew a Miss Bellick in high school who was also Serbian. Shit was a racist bitch who called me Ustaše because I'm an ethnic Croat. I only learnt about it because another student who was Bosnian was shocked and pointed it out to me and why it was bad. I grew up in a Western country, so don't really give a shit.
Yeah, what you should have done was you should have found the ethnic slur to call them, but behave like it's normal, right? You also poured hot butter on his balls. Yeah, but that's not as egregious as jamming a banana up your ass.
Like, you keep up, like, actually having to date your significant other there in order to progress the romance, as well as, like, other activities you can do with other side content, and also an overhaul of the wanted system that I think is, like, really clever and very in-depth based on what's available right now. So, like, everything that I'm learning about the game and everything I saw in the extended look, for the most part, has me very excited for GTA 6 to full.
It doesn't excite me. It kind of disappoints me. I thought they could have done better. I think maybe I'm getting too hung up on the writing. Right, the writing is really killing it for me.
Release. There's nothing I saw or learned about after the trailer that I was just super put off by, like, ooh, yuck, that might be a deal breaker. There's nothing I saw like that.
That was the writing for me.
Just a couple of things like the map didn't love, especially during the police being on your tail there. Once they're on the horn chasing you around, that map, you couldn't even fucking see the roads on it anymore. It basically went invisible. And I'm not super sold on Jason being a fun protagonist to get in the shoes of, but we just haven't seen a whole lot of him yet, so I'm hoping that it's just maybe not the best first impression of him as a character. Well, of course, we'll see as they keep showing more, but anyway, with some good shit, that's really about it. See ya.
Yeah, I disagree. I think, like, honestly, I think this game's going to sell gangbusters. Let's be honest. This game's going to make them so much fucking money, they're not going to know what to do with it. They could probably build their next skyscraper out of the money they made directly. But I don't know, I just expected better from them. But then again, I'm also getting caught up in the hype cycle of this has been in development for 13 years, and there's no way they're going to be able to live up to that. But the protagonists were boring. The writing felt bland and uninteresting. There were too many cutscenes. Gameplay was fine. Driving seemed fine to me. Wanted system seemed fine to me. Spray shops are obviously still there. It's just the writing. It's the lacking of that GTA wacky thing. Like that wacky element that really feels like it's missing. It's not even safe edgy. It's just, it feels like it's trying to be a movie. A way to save the boring guy on the trailer is to at some point reveal he has personalities and the other one is the wacky GTA character. Both of them should be the wacky GTA character. Or you've got to play it like the Frenchman in Rome, where you make the two main characters normal people and then everyone else around them is just fucking insane. That would work out way better than what I saw there. Real irony is my family actually experienced genocide by Serb forced during the Battle of Volkovar. You should say that to her. You should have said that shit to her. You missed out on a golden opportunity. Now you have to sit there, and instead of having fired back at this piece of shit, now you have to sit there with your shower thoughts being like, damn, I should have said that. Alright, I'm gonna give this one more crack. Let's see, 20 reasons I'm not getting GTA 6. We've had a positive opinion. Let's have a negative one. Then we will watch the biocomputing thing, because that's been sitting there for a while. I want to see what that's going on. That kind of touches adjacent to some of the specializations I did in university a little bit, so I know a little bit about it. I was friends with a bunch of biomed engineers, so they were doing stuff with neurons on rat brains, getting them to do calculations and shit. Get off the GTA 6 reactions. We'll get there. Relax. I want to see where this guy's going.
Unplayable. Let's go through 20 reasons for why I won't be buying GTA 6 when it's released. This was number 1. Even Red Dead Redemption 2 has your guy manually and painstakingly grab things by hand. Every drawer, every counter, every apple, you had to wait for the slowest person in existence to figure out how to pick it up. But here, it just spawns in his hand. But this sloppy oversight is just the start of this game's many glaring oversights. Lucia coming through this curtain the first time looks good, yeah? So what's going on the second time? It's like there's a magical force field around her, a hitbox of some kind, pushing it out of the way before she can even get close to it.
Okay, this guy's just gonna nitpick.
Same with this bit here where Jason...
If this guy's just gonna nitpick this entire fucking video, then I'm just gonna skip it and move on.
Supposedly holds the door open, but we can see again it opens on its own accord before he even touches it. Valve, please fix. Returning to that curtain again,
this guy's going to be streaming GTA 6, mark my words, absolutely.
Gets me onto my third problem with GTA 6. Yes, some of the shimmering on the curtain is from it settling back into
the ray oh no, the fucking ray tracing. Next he's going to tell me the shadows aren't good enough.
State again. And yet the shimmering persists, suggesting there aren't enough rays of light to construct a stable.
This has to be a shitpost, I hope it is.
Scene from. You think with all these lights in the room it would help with that, but I suspect this is actually part of the problem, because lots of small lights does not a stable environment make. Number 4 is atrocious. This guy getting shot right here. Do you see it? Let's watch it again. No? Slow motion. He dies before the bullet even reaches his body. Look, I'm not an expert at getting shot, but I would say that your reaction to getting shot would begin after you've been shot.
Yeah, but what if he was flinching?
If not quite a bit later due to reflexes and stuff. So this is an unforgivable disaster from Rockstar right here. Even noticeable at just 30 FPS. Speaking of which, 30 FPS. We're talking PS5, 2026 release.
Okay, that one is 30 FPS. Okay, that's a fair one.
And yet a game like this, with a budget of $1 billion or something like that, could still only ship with 30 FPS. My mum can make a game faster than that. Now I get it, there are...
I can't believe this guy's actually asking for more graphics. Let me tell you about something about how the world works. There are more people bitching that the graphics aren't yet good enough than there are people who are not. And that's exactly why, or at least part of the reason why we're in the situation we're in right now.
There are trade-offs to be made, and Rockstar seemingly wants to lovingly craft the most believable and detailed world they can, rather than to let us enjoy a smoother 60 FPS experience. And they also remain quiet about the PS5 Pro's capabilities, which to me suggests that even that almighty beast won't be able to manage 60. If I didn't know better, I'd say they're withholding 60 FPS for the PC or PS6 release, or maybe PS7 release, to give fans an excuse to buy this game again. Not that they have any fans left, given all these hideous bugs in this gameplay preview. And the 30 FPS
oh yeah, no, he has to be memeing. He has to be memeing.
Still doesn't mean it looks good. This whole presentation was embarrassingly low-res and pixelated. I could fill 100 points with examples of this, but I'll focus on the worst offender. Hairy arms. I appreciate they...
Oh, he's memeing. He has to be fucking memeing.
I really do, but the technology just isn't there yet to render them to an acceptable level. They often look like a fuzzy force field around the arm, shimmering and fizzing because the resolution just isn't high enough to make it look like proper.
he's gonna do all of this shit, and then he's gonna get to the end of the video and he's gonna say some shit like, fuck you, these are the things these retards are complaining about.
Hair. In this example, I swear that the hairs are appearing and disappearing as he moves his arm. And here, you might as well replace that hair with twinkling fairy lights. I think we've finally discovered the true reason for why Lucia decided to plummet off the side of this building than risk holding Jason's hands any longer. Check out all the debris that's launched into the air following this ludicrous display. Yet as it approaches the edge of the screen, it starts fading out of existence.
This has to be
What I'll do, I'll just pause this here and highlight the bit I'm talking about. You can see right now it's practically invisible. Doesn't even look like rubble anymore. Yet if I now keep this zoomed in and reverse the footage but in slow motion, you can clearly see that it fades back into view again. I know, right? Really distracting. Believe it or not, debris does not just fade out of existence in real life. I did some in-depth research into this topic to know for sure. In this scene, they're at a rooftop bar.
He's memeing.
The light breeze gently rippling the leaves in the hedge behind them, and yet the helium balloons behind that remain completely still. Unbelievable.
Well, I'll walk you out. I need the ladies.
Yeah, let's take in the view. This shotgun hits a line of drinks and none of them break. Forget the weapon store, just equip a load of these around you and use it as armor. This bed here flexes and springs. Good. It bodes well for a hot coffee session. But this one right here, no flex at all. Nothing. Completely hard and rigid, just like me when I was spotting all these problems. Look at this bird. This one here. It's floating along suspiciously slowly, don't you think? And so understandably it starts flapping its wings, yet its trajectory remains the same. No change in its vector nor velocity. This
He has to be fucking memeing.
Suggests to me that these aren't birds, and are in fact digital entities of some kind. The sparks from shooting cars grows larger the further away from it you are. And this ends up getting rather comical. Look at this bit here. Every shot is like a roaring bonfire going off, shooting 40 feet into the air. So this isn't how real life works. This is more like video game logic. Look at these hedges here, all just clearly copy-pasted, identical to one another. It's clear to me that Rockstar have been very lazy these last few years. Jason's backflip here looks about as stiff as his acting, and the splashes appear—
Wait, this is the guy that reveals classified military documents on the War Thunder forums to win a pointless argument. Yeah,
away from where he hits the water.
I got
just like this fountain here, which here makes a splash where no water has hit. This dollar bill lives in a different reality, first by glitching through the stripper, and then it drops to the ground like a stone, and then slides across the ground. Not very paper-like. Check this out. Hair, painted on hair. Hair, painted on hair. Why is this deer hairless while the hairs are hairy? It makes no sense. When he picks up this bag, first it completely disappears from the ground, and then it jumps out to the side, disobeying multiple laws of physics. This wouldn't happen in real life. We'll return to the fridge from the beginning.
You might think nitpick, but this is a multi-billion-dollar game, though. It depends. How big is the game? How big is the map? How much money did they put into the voice acting? $2. What else did they put into this? I think he's doing this so that he can be like, oh, these are the only things wrong with it. So then he can mock the people who have criticisms of what they see in GTA 6.
Check out these cans. What is this? Minecraft? You could cut yourself on those edges. They do, admittedly, soon transition to a higher quality model. And smoothly, too. But not soon enough. And I've saved the biggest till last. Reason 20 for why I won't be buying GTA 6 upon release is because I don't have a console. So
I mean, yeah.
What do you think? Following this disastrous reveal, is anyone even excited to play this game anymore? Or have you all cancelled your pre-orders and agree this video is just obvious rage bait? Leave your thoughts below.
Yeah, it was obvious rage bait. Well done. Well played. He baited me in the beginning. Well played. I bet that there's going to be people reacting to that, losing their shit and be like screaming at him, not realizing that the entire thing is rage bait. That was rage bait. Okay, cool. That's enough for that. I think it's fairly obvious what I think of GTA 6. I'm just disappointed in the writing. Everything else seems fine. Nothing's really that big of an issue. I don't see any real problems about this. I don't see it as a problem. I think this game is going to sell. It's going to make Rockstar an infinite amount of money. They're going to just... man, they're turning on the money printer. And the problem isn't them. It's every single AAA game studio that cannot do anything even close to the medianization of GTA 6 that's going to fuck things up in the future. GTA 6 will be better than Fable, though. Absolutely it will. You kidding me? You see that in GTA 6? I mean, not GTA 6. Did you see that in Fable? They replaced the ugly bitch in the trailer with a hotter bitch.
Their game is state-of-the-art, and that you should surrender all of your consumer rights to play it. Because of how good it is, I expect it to be tighter than Natalie Portman's asshole.
I don't know how tight that asshole is. I bet that shit might be a bit, you know, loosened. She is part of Hollywood. But, yeah. You should surrender all of your consumer rights just over this. Of course. But yeah, I would say probably this game's going to be a 7 out of 10. And if things go wrong, it's going to be a 6 out of 10. You know, 6 to 7. Somewhere there. There you go, bestie. I got that reference just for you. It's full of leaks. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's just free advertising for them at this point. I would love to see their financial breakdown just for such a big project. So would I, but you're never going to see that. You will never see that shit. Now, you've been requesting this one for a while. You've been asking me to take a look at this. We're going to take a look at this shit. We're not ready for biocomputing. I know a little bit about this. I saw some of this stuff happening when I was in university, where what they were doing was they were training rat neurons to be able to solve certain basic problems and using them as basic logic gates as a calculator. This was years ago. What they're doing now is probably fucking insane by comparison. We're turning people into servitors soon, and it can't happen soon enough. In the future, when you commit a crime, you don't go to prison, you go to the lab. They're going to outfit you. Welcome to the age of the Mechanicus. The leaked footage proves that it's not a 30 FPS experience, and it looks like a lot of historically organic gameplay. It is really being scripted. Think of the release of Cyberpunk. Yeah, it's probably going to be very heavily scripted, and that's what's got me concerned. I thought biocomputing was about kidnapping people and lock them in a room to do work for free. No, that's biocomputing, but in Asia. That's different. It doesn't work in Africa because the IQ is too low, and it doesn't work in the US because none of the kids know how to do math by the time they fucking graduate.
One of the most disturbing things happening in science right now, and almost no one is talking about it. That's why we made this video. You're looking at a computer in a laboratory.
Oh, is this the whole biocomputer play Doom thing? Okay,
Cortical
yeah.
Labs. It's playing Doom. But look closer. There's nobody playing it. Or actually, there is. They just can't get out. They are trapped there because this computer is running on living human brain cells. And those cells are the ones playing. So why would anyone build a computer out of brain cells? It basically comes down.
Because neurons are hyper efficient at doing things. You can feed them energy. You can cause a chemical reaction to get it to do what you want. It's the same as wires, except it's got built-in pathways that you can map out. That's
power. AI uses a massive amount of electricity, and that number keeps going up.
Amazon investing another $15 billion. Meta continuing its massive investments in AI, this time in the form of compute power.
The computing power it takes to train these models roughly doubles every 6 months. Almost nothing in the real world grows that fast, but you can't build power plants that quickly. So there's a growing gap between what AI needs and what we can actually supply, and it keeps getting wider. You can see the panic in what the big companies are doing. They're going after energy now, not just better software. Old nuclear plants that got shut down years.
Well, yeah, that's the boom and bust cycle. Things grow faster than they can keep up with it. Then the bubble bursts, it collapses. Everyone says it was a sham and it was a scam. And then it shows up 10 years later as a normal part of life.
Ago are being turned back on just to power them. Companies are signing deals to lock up huge chunks of the grid years ahead of time. It's not really a race.
Oh my god, they've made lobotomized servitors from horror sci-fi dystopia Warhammer 40k. I vote we put our elected officials into them. So basically you want computers that do nothing but keep sucking themselves off.
Race for smarter AI anymore. It's turning into a race for electricity. So a few researchers went a totally different direction. They looked at the brain. Because the brain figured this out a long time ago. Think about what your brain is doing right now and how little it runs on. Everything you're thinking runs on about 20 watts.
Yep.
We're using whole power plants just to copy a small piece of what your brain does on basically nothing. And it learns way better than our machines too. To teach a computer what a dog is, you have to show it thousands of photos. A little kid sees a dog once or twice and just gets it. So how did we get from that to a dish playing Doom? It took 3 steps. Back in 2008, researchers grew a sheet of rat neurons and hooked it up to a little robot.
Yeah, and then a bunch of universities later, like 5 years later, started copying the idea to see if they could do it as well.
And the cells actually drove it around. It sounds bigger than it was. The neurons just sat flat on a grid of electrodes and connected to their neighbors. That was pretty much it. This was nowhere near a real brain, and it wasn't even the first time someone had wired living tissue to a machine. One team even did it with the brain of a lamprey. The footage always looked a little like a horror movie, and from the start, people had one real doubt. Were the cells actually driving, or was the computer just taking their random signals and making it look that way? Keep that question in mind. We're coming back to it. The second step...
I can't believe we've invented organic robots from Traveler, AI running on human brains before the Elder Scrolls 6. We'll probably have flying cars before the Elder Scrolls 6. Oh, sorry. That's not right. You're not getting the Elder Scrolls 6. You're getting Starfield 2 with magic. Currently, I have the worst written, least efficient software ever. The answer today is to throw more hardware and power at the problem. Yes, and it's been a barrier to entry for a lot of computing problems and issues. We've gone from large, gigantic 1 kilobyte disks that took up entire office blocks. We've miniaturized it, we've optimized it, and we're hitting a threshold where we've got all the structure and we've got all the blueprints to make stuff. We just need to change the materials in what we use.
Came in 2013. A scientist named Shinya Yamanaka showed you could reset a grown-up cell all the way back to the start. He found 4 proteins that turn a regular cell into a blank, brand new one. And from there, you can turn it into almost anything, including a neuron. That was huge. It meant you didn't have to take neurons out of a brain anymore. You could just take a bit of skin and grow them. There was another big step too. If you grow neurons on a flat dish, they only connect to the ones right next to them. But if you let them grow in 3D, they start to organize on their own. They spread out, fold into layers, and form the rough beginnings of real brain regions, kind of like an embryo does. One of those tiny balls of tissue is called an organoid. Then, in 2022, a company called Cortical Labs put all of this together into something they called Dish Brain. They grew about 800,000 neurons, part mouse and part human, and taught them to play Pong. 2 things about this were a big deal. First, a dish of cells was actually working toward a goal. Second, and
this is fantastic. In the future, we can have organic robots, and when the robot misbehaves, you could just hit it with the fucking shock collar, Hassan style, and get it to behave.
The weird part, they'd figured out how to teach it. They could ask the cells a question and get an answer back. You're not supposed to be able to do that to a blob of tissue in a dish. So how do you teach a neuron? You can't give it a treat. So they used a basic fact about neurons. They hate chaos. If you give them a signal they can't predict, it stresses them out. So the setup was simple and kind of mean. When they missed the ball, they got hit with scrambled random noise.
See, you just shock collar them and they start working right.
When they hit it back, the signal
Hassan was onto something.
Went calm and steady. The neurons have no idea what Pong is. They're not playing to win. They're just trying to make the chaos stop. And they didn't pick that method at random. They based it on an idea of the free energy principle. Basically, it says every living thing is always trying to avoid surprise.
Can I clone young Dolly Parton? I mean, if you dig up the corpse, once you're done plundering the festering holes, sure.
And keep its world predictable. Because being surprised usually means something's wrong. So that urge to calm things down isn't something the scientists added. It might be the most basic thing a living cell does. But there's a big catch. We can grow brain tissue in 3D.
Metal programming anymore. 30 years ago, if you wanted to make a snake clone, you had to learn assembly. Now, you can make it in a heavily abstracted language like Python that's slow, poorly optimized. This means young programmers don't learn the fundamentals like logic, basic algebra, and mathematics.
Yeah, but they never will. Banks, they never will. There's no going back to that. You could tell that tech is becoming like a niche thing for younger generations because how many people who are below the age of 27 have ever run a command line? How many of them know what BIOS is? Right, yeah, there's no going back. The only thing we can do is take what systems we have and try and optimize the shit out of them as much as possible, because those are the systems that people are learning en masse.
And we can talk to living neurons. We just can't do both at the same time yet. So in order to talk to them, DishBrain had to keep the cells flat because the chip that reads them is a flat grid. If you put a round organoid on it, you only touch the bottom layer. So they had to flatten it out and give up the brain's real shape just to talk to it. And remember,
I'm currently learning Java. I'm sorry for your loss. And I find it horrible that we are pushed into working with AI instead of learning it. Well, yeah. But there is an advantage to still learning it, right? If you're going to be using like AI for any of this stuff, you will be able to get a higher output response from an AI if you know what you're fucking talking about, because you can ask and answer more specific questions that the AI needs to better optimize for the task that you're doing, right? Knowledge is not completely useless. There's a difference between someone who understands exactly what they've got to say to get something out of a system because they understand the fundamentals behind what they're asking, as opposed to someone who has no fucking idea, right? So it's like, you ask the average person, how does a wing work? How does an airplane wing work? Right? If they ask the AI that, they'll get some stuff that's kind of vague and generalized. But if I go to an AI and I say, based on the works of H. Babinski and theoretical streamlines in VLM lattice systems of aerodynamics, explain to me in a paragraph how exactly I can optimize the side profile using the NACA profiles to find the perfect one for this exact flight regime when it comes to flying aircraft, right? One of those outputs is going to be a higher element than the other. So learning the fundamentals is even more important now than it was previously, and you can use an AI to eliminate the tedium behind it. Because if you don't understand, if you don't have the fundamental understanding of what you're looking at, it's a CISO system, right? And I don't mean single input, single output. I mean shit in, shit out.
This is the crude version. Half the design is missing. Which brings us to a big new. Cortical Labs showed off a computer that runs on brain cells. They call it CL1, and it plays Doom. This one was grown from about 200,000 human neurons. They took skin cells, reset them, turned them into neurons, and spread.
That was my point. We're not encouraged to learn the fundamentals, just jump into AI. Yeah, and that's a big mistake. And it's gonna handicap a lot of people. And the people who go out of their way to still learn the fundamentals, even if they're using AI to assist them in learning those fundamentals, are gonna have a higher output at any given point in time.
Spread them across a bed of
electrodes. They know what they're talking about.
Then they tied the signals to moving and shooting the same way as before. When it did well, the signal stayed calm.
It's likely also that you're being forced into that AI system because the people above you are dumbasses who think, oh, just do it, right? But they don't understand the importance of those core fundamental principles before just doing it.
When it took damage or died, the cells got flooded with chaos.
Yes, yeah.
And within about a week, it had learned the basics of moving around and shooting. I'm not going to pretend to be calm about this, and I don't think you should be either. It's amazing, and it kind of makes me sick. And I think both of those reactions are fair, because that computer came from a real person. It's literally made of human cells. I keep imagining what it would be like to be the thing stuck in there, playing the same little piece of game over and over forever, not remembering.
Yeah, but you see, he's talking about the human experience, not a bunch of cells who are sending signals to one another. This thing is not conscious. It hasn't achieved some degree of consciousness. It's not going to be self-contemplative of, God, is this my entire existence?
Anything before it, not knowing that anything else even exists. For these cells, there's nothing else, just the game. Are we making a piece of a human being whose whole world is getting shocked inside a violent video game just to save some electricity? For years, we worried about the opposite thing. Humans turning into machines, chips in our heads, that whole idea. Almost nobody expected it to happen the other way around. but that's kind of what's going on here.
But we are just cells sending signals to one another. Yes, but there's a degree of complexity behind that, Wojciech. Right? There's a degree of complexity. You cannot take a fly's brain, map it out, and expect it to be able to read, understand the complexities and nuances of the works of Shakespeare. There's levels to it. It's a continuum.
Now, to be fair, there was a big backlash to all of this, and it was kind of fair. When Cortical Labs published the Pong word, the title used a heavy word. It said the neurons showed sentience. Normally, that word means someone's in there having an experience. But the scientists meant it in a really narrow, technical way.
Yes.
Basically, anyway, the story blew up.
Yeah, but you see, this is exactly what happens. This happens so many fucking times. This is why journalists are scum of the earth, pieces of shit. So when we use words in technical documents and writing and stuff like that, there are certain words you're going to use within a very narrow band. That's why usually when you're giving some kind of design document or something, you've got a bunch of definitions that come before the document that you crank out and hand to someone, because those definitions are what you exactly mean within the framework of what you're doing. But a journalist gets a hold of it. He sees the word sentient and they go, the computer's alive. This happened when they built a simulation in biotech of technically, theoretically living cells. They're not really living, but they were kind of living, right? They behaved in a manner that could be considered living, but the cells weren't carbon-based life forms. They were tungsten-based. And immediately a bunch of retarded journalists, instead of actually reading the paper and understanding what these people meant, immediately jumped to, the Terminator's coming. Terminator. That's how fucking retarded these people are. A neuron shows sentience equals scientists have created a human-machine hybrid capable to melt steel beams. Yes. Journalists are the scum of the fucking earth when it comes to reading any design document, any research paper, because they skim past the definition, believe they know everything, don't get the context, and then come out talking about how this creature must be alive or some shit.
And a lot of scientists were angry too. About 30 of them signed a letter saying the company had twisted the word just to get headlines.
There you go.
And oversold the whole thing to help the business. Their worry was pretty practical. Too much hype leads to backlash, and enough backlash could shut down a young field like this. And this research really matters. Scientists use these same cells to build living models of human diseases. They can watch how a disease develops and test drugs on tissue that's way closer to ours than a mouse's. That could save real lives and replace a
Man, that rat looks fucked up.
lot of animal testing. It would be a real loss if a stunt with Pong and Doom dragged it all down. Doom really was kind of a stunt. The audience asked for it, and it made great marketing. But it brings us right back to that doubt from 2008. Is the brain really playing, or is the computer just cleaning up random noise and making it look good? Almost 20 years later, we can finally check. The developer behind the demo, who goes by Sean Call, released the code, so...
Thanks for stopping by, Zeth. Yeah, this is just... It's a replacement for wires. That's what this is coming down to.
Anyone can read it. And what's inside is not just a brain in a box. There are 3 parts. First, a normal computer chip running an AI that watches the game and decides when to reward and when to punish. Second, the 200,000 human neurons. And third, a translator in the middle passing messages both ways. Here's the uncomfortable part. Almost all of the actual smarts are on the chip, not in the cells. Reading the screen, running the learning, telling a win from a loss, that's all the computer. The developer was even worried.
But the brain cells are sentient now.
His AI would get so good, it wouldn't need the...
This dystopian-level biotechnology will be abused because corporate science doesn't give a shit about ethics. Really does remind me of Stasis, Kate. So, yes, it will be. It will be abused in some way that it shouldn't be. The same way people took DJI parrot drones that were initially just designed for people to have a webcam or some kind of camera attached to it that links to their phone so they can fly over a vista or see the naked lady in the window next door who forgot to close her curtains. And instead, we strap a grenade to it and fly it into people in a war.
Neurons at all.
It's
so
always
he
going
ran
to be
a simple
abused.
test. He took the cells out and replaced them with pure random noise. And the learning just...
Can we clone your brain for Africa's government servers? No, because what would happen is if it achieved any accomplishment whatsoever, the solution it would come to is burn it all down.
Stop. So the neurons are doing something real, even if it's a small part. So the truth is somewhere in the middle. It's not a brain playing on its own, but the cells aren't just for show either. It's mostly a normal computer doing the work, with living cells adding a small but real piece. That's where we are today, and here's where I think it goes next. I don't think that small biological parts stay small. Labs all over are racing to grow this tissue in full 3D and connect to it properly, and it's already turning into a business, a huge business. A Swiss company called FinalSpark rents out living human neurons over the internet. You pay a monthly fee, log in from anywhere in the world, and run experiments on 16 tiny human mini brains that they keep alive in their lab. And their whole pitch is...
How many views does this have? 4.5 million views. There is no way that someone hasn't gone to FinalSpark, rented it out, and be like, all right, human brains in a jar. I want you to draw me the biggest anthropomorphic bitch ever with a giant horse cock. Make no mistakes. And the neurons just died.
Is the same thing we started with, energy. They say these living chips can run on up to 1,000,000 times less power than a normal one. So this weird one-off experiment is basically becoming a product you can subscribe to. And I believe sooner or later, someone's going to connect a full 3D mini brain and close that last gap. But let's go back to that Doom machine for a second. Most of the smarts are in the computer. The cells only do a little. So it would be easy to hear that and just ignore it. But being smart was never...
If it's still being powered by an AI, how is it solving the selectivity power issue? It isn't. But the hope is that you can replace all the regular shit that you would otherwise use, which has like a bunch of thermal runoff, and you've got a bunch of inefficiencies and resistances and back EMF that you have to deal with regular circuitry, so that one day instead you could use the most hyper-complex system that we're aware of, which is a brain, to then run this instead. Like he said at the beginning, your brain's like 20 watts of power, doing all this crazy shit. Right now, it's not doing any of that. At some given point in time, it may be the single most efficient way to run a computer system.
Never the scary part here. Being smart and being awake are two different things. You can be great at solving problems and still not feel anything at all. So the real question isn't whether those cells are clever, it's whether anyone's actually in there. And it turns out
there's no one in there.
Being able to feel might not need a big smart brain at all. A renowned neuroscientist, Mark Solms, argues almost the opposite of what we were taught. Solms says feeling isn't something that sits on top of intelligence. He thinks it comes first, underneath everything else, and that it comes straight out of the basic drive to stay alive. Think about what came first in evolution. It wasn't logic or language. The earliest living things weren't solving anything. They were just doing something much simpler and older, moving toward what kept them alive and away from what didn't. So something like feeling was already around long before thinking showed up. Now think back to how these cells get trained. Chaos when they fail, calm when they succeed. That's the free energy principle again. That same drive...
There is also no one in our brain. Yeah, there is. So the idea that some collective consciousness of what you are is probably neurons firing in a very particular pattern continuously over a period of time, and when that stops, you're gone, right? So this starts to get very philosophical very quickly, because it comes down to the idea of, are we just the sum total of the neurons firing in our head reacting to stimuli, or is there actually some degree of choice, or is choice the illusion and we're all fated to behave within a certain statistical pattern or not? It's hard to have an answer to all of that. It might be both, it might be neither, it might be some combination, it might be that we're not even asking the right question. There's a whole bunch of shit behind that. FinalSpark, make Fruit Love Island with AI pregnant cat. That's coming. Welcome to the future.
Drive every living thing has to avoid surprise and keep it...
Remember the ghost sentiment in Ghost in the Shell? Yeah.
...itself steady. And if Solms is right, that drive isn't just close to feeling. It might be where feeling actually starts. So maybe we've had it backwards this whole time. We're not slowly building a mind and waiting for it to wake up at the top. We might be poking at the exact thing feeling comes from, right at the bottom, from the very first moment we turn the dish on. And if something in there did start to feel, we'd probably miss it completely. We can barely spot it in each other. In 2006, a scientist named Adrian Owen studied a young woman who everyone had given up on. They'd called her vegetative. He put her in a brain scanner.
There are so many woman jokes that could be made about this exact segment right now.
And asked her to imagine playing tennis, and her brain lit up exactly like yours would. She was completely awake and aware. She just couldn't move or speak to show it.
So they took a woman and they proved that she's a vegetable. It was actually pretty genius of them to pick a woman instead of a man, because they said, imagine doing something, and then their brain lit up. What they should have said is, babe, there's dishes in the sink that I didn't touch. Watch your brain just fucking turn into a supernova. Your sister's hotter than you. There's so many ways to go with that. Ask the vegetative woman if they support Lindsay Clancy.
And a later study found out that about 1 in 4 patients written off like that are actually still aware. So if we could miss a fully conscious person lying right in front of us, what chance do we have of spotting it in a clump of cells? We like to tell ourselves that feeling needs the right parts. Pain receptors, certain brain structures, but even that is shaky. Insects don't have a visual cortex, and they clearly see, so feeling might run on parts that look nothing like ours, parts we'd never even think to check. When the noise in the dish gets too loud, the cells turn their response down like they're trying to block it out. Something in pain would do that, but so would something that feels nothing at all. Backing away from a bad signal isn't the same as suffering, and from the outside, there's no test that can tell the two apart. This is what the philosopher David Chalmers called the hard problem. We can map every single cell in a brain and still have no idea how it turns into an actual feeling. So let me be honest about both sides of this. Think about what this research could give us. It could help us finally understand diseases. It could replace a lot of animal testing. And all of it comes from a tiny few cells sitting in a dish, playing a game that's older than most of the people in the lab. It looks like nothing, but it might be the start of something huge. For almost the
Potentially, but how many things has that been said about, and then it takes like another 50 to 100 years for that to happen?
Entire history of
Probably
the
not
universe,
in our
there was just
lifetime.
matter, and nobody around to feel any of it. Then, at some point, some of that matter arranged itself in a way that did something completely new. It started to feel. We've always thought of that as the rarest thing there is, something it took billions of years of evolution to make, and now we're basically trying to do it again in a lab on purpose. We take some cells, we wire them up, we train them with calm and chaos, and we watch to see what happens. And don't forget where those cells came from. They started as ordinary skin from a real living person who's still out there right now. We were never really trying to copy human thinking. That was never the scary part. The scary part is that somewhere in that dish, a piece of that person might start to feel something. And nothing on the outside would change.
Are they? So this again, this is starting to mix science with feelings and with philosophy. So he's doing this because it makes for a fantastic YouTube video that gets people to like engage in a certain way. But the thing is it feeling or simply response to stimuli? And if it's feeling, then can you say that human beings are really feeling, or are they responding to stimuli? And if those are one and the same, then we could say that everything feels.
So what he's saying is we should eat our vegetables.
Where is it? I mean, depends whether you like cleaning up after yourself or not, or whether that just adds to the flavor for you.
And we watch to see what happens. And don't forget where those cells came from. They started as ordinary skin from a real living person who's still out there right now. We were never really trying to copy human thinking. That was never the scary part. The scary part is that somewhere in that dish, a piece of that person might start to feel something. And nothing on the outside.
That whole thing, right? That whole thing right there. That's the emotive, you know, the beginning of something great that gets people to engage.
The game would just keep playing, and nobody would ever know.
Yeah, that's mixing feelings and science and all of this shit. Nietzsche actually kind of warned against this. I think it was in Beyond Good and Evil when he said that if you're going to be a proper scientist, you can't be a psychologist or a philosopher or anything like that, because philosophers pull shit out of their ass all the time. And they just posit theories that we have no idea how to test, but they act like they're the God's given gift to mankind and they must be right. Right, Nietzsche did a really good job of breaking this down and taking a fat dump on all these people, because he was like, all these philosophical ideas and stuff, we're just pulling shit out of our ass and trying to figure out what sticks and what doesn't. And if you start to mix in scientific fields, which is more about experimentation and output results and methodology to keep your results clean and stuff like that, then you're going to get truly lost in the fucking woods because you don't know what the hell's going on. Am I like other philosophers? That's up to you to decide. Are you? Unrelated, but did you see the Duskbloods network test gameplay video? I haven't. No. I have not. But unfortunately for me, right, this is exactly why I said today was going to be a short stream, right? I'm going to have to end off there. I'm going to have to disappear because I need to get 4 hours of fucking sleep, because my goddamn student warned me at the last minute that he was competing this weekend. So I've got to go debrief. I got to go brief the little motherfucker tomorrow. Little asshole ruined my whole weekend by not telling me earlier. So we're taking a look at the GTA stuff. We've taken a look at some weird brain shit. What we need to do is we need to take the weird brain shit and put it inside women's heads so they can start thinking for once. Finishing AR when? I'm hoping now that I've got at least some of the temp work that I had to do to pay my bills and shit done, I can start to focus again on the important things, like my long form video that I'm working on, like streaming more consistently. I'm praying to the fucking African gods right now that my internet doesn't cut out and my electricity doesn't go for a ball of shit. You're 14 quests away from it? Good. Good. I'm praying that tomorrow at some given point in time, I will be able to sit down and for 6 hours do nothing else but play Final Fantasy XIV. If not tomorrow, then hopefully Sunday. But we'll see. Now, I'm going to go fuck off. You should have fucked off a long time ago. I've been up since 3 this morning working my ass off. I'll see you all later. Goodbye for now.